GamezAttack audio podcast here on OldFreakyGamer.com, because why not? Because it's OldFreakyGamer.com.
That's a good game.
Enjoy your gaming.
Oh, yeah. So welcome, everybody. I am Mr. Mike, and you are listening, or you're watching, because, you know what? I caved into myself. I am going to post these up on YouTube as well. I am posting this podcast not only as an audio edition on to OldFreakyGamer.com. So if you go to OldFreakyGamer.com, you can watch this boring me just sitting here talking about video games, or you can just listen to it on any of your podcast apps out there, which is, you know, Apple, Google, Amazon, your podcast catcher app, whatever. And you can just, you know, go to my website, OldFreakyGamer.com, go to the GamezAttack podcast section on there, and you can go take your phone up to the QR code and take that feed and put it right into your stuff if you want to. Or you could go to one of like the many podcast stuff that I talked about, and you can listen to this beautiful podcast on your players of choice of me talking about video games and stuff like that. But like I said, I'm also going to start putting these out alongside the podcast with the video version of the GamezAttack podcast, because I said to myself, you know what, Mr. Mike? People don't get enough of seeing my ugly face, my ugly old face. So I'm going to do it. And yes, I think I am over brightened up here. Yep. Whoa, look at that. Hold on one second. Let me change the lighting a little bit here. Here. Soften up the lighting a little bit. I don't have all the controls down here. I got a simple LED light up top there that gives me my lighting, and then, you know, I got my monitor, my big huge 32 plus inch monitor. So here I got some background lights here, you know, just so you can get me in the zone, the mic zone. But that's only if you're watching the video version of it, which, you know, some people like to. And YouTube is a great place to host your my video versions of the podcast, because they got an actual feed. And then I said to myself, Mr. Mike, let me take a look at this. How easy is it to put my podcasts up on this feed on YouTube? And then I just, you know, I only had a select few so far on YouTube, so you're not going to get all the oldest GamezAttack podcast videos on there. You're just going to get the ones that I put up, and then the last one that I did, which was episode 13, and then going forward from 13 now to 14 and beyond, you'll get a video version of this podcast going forward. So if you like it or not, you're going to be getting a video version of this podcast as well. But yes, I'm happy. I think I should just do it, you know. I'm recording these podcasts now all in OBS. So I'm recording the video, I'm recording the audio, because it's just a lot simpler to do. So I figured to myself, why not just go ahead and just put it all up? I'm recording the video already, so why not? What's it gonna hurt? YouTube wants my crappy content. You guys want to watch and listen to my crappy content, so I might as well do it, right? So welcome, everybody, again to the GamezAttack podcast. This is a podcast about video games, and only video games, because, shit, that's what I love, is video games. You know what else I also love? I also love it when two companies finally come together. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Looks like you're fucked.
Nah.
Knock, open up the doors.
Two companies finally emerged. Xbox, aka Microsoft Xbox, finally acquires Blizzard, or Activision-Blizzard / King. Finally, that has happened as of yesterday, Friday the 13th, which is the weirdest day to close the deal. And, it's still going to take them a little while to get this deal going forward because, it takes a little while for, the $69 billion to go through and the final regulation things and stuff. And, the UK finally caved in and let them do it. You got the FTC still wants to break it up and shit, but who gives a shit about our government regulation body? They suck. They don't understand anything. So they can't even get any of the other companies sued properly. So what are they going to do to Microsoft? Oh, and then you got the recent tax thing where they might get Microsoft. The IRS says, yeah, they owe them billions of dollars too. They're like, yeah, you're giving billions of dollars away to them. You owe us a few billion too. Come on, Microsoft. Yeah, you owe us what? What did they say it was? In the realm of something billions of dollars and tax stuff from going back from 2006 or something, or 2009? I forgot when it was. It was a long time ago. And I'm like thinking, wait. You're saying Microsoft screwed you, the government, out of billions and billions and billions of dollars since back all the way back in 2000 and something? How does that happen? And how does that get overlooked by you guys? And how come you're just now getting to this magical, we're owed some money too. Hey, Microsoft. Hey, give us some money too. I don't know if that just means because they know Microsoft's filthy rich and that they're buying a major company and they're like, maybe we want to get into some of that money too. Yeah, Microsoft, give us some billions too. Which Microsoft is also protesting against. And it's like, okay, if you or me fuck up on our taxes, they come after us, then they penalize us and they charge us tons of money that they don't want you to ever pay back because they just want to keep you paying. And big corporations, they don't go after too much, and if they do, they suck at it. I don't know. I'm not blaming Microsoft here. They pulled the wool over the IRS's eyes because, the IRS is looking at you and me, the common folk. They're like, you common folk give us the money. And we're not going to get into the whole hoopla bullshit stuff about, corporations don't pay their fair share. Rich people don't pay their fair share. Both corporations and rich people don't pay their fair share in taxes. And it's like, well, corporations and big companies are made to not pay their fair share in taxes because that's how they make money for the shareholders, their people, their CEOs, the people that work there and stuff like that. They know how to get around those tax loops and stuff like that. And rich people, I hear about a lot of rich people paying a lot of money in taxes. I don't know if they get around that. They might do some stuff to get around stuff like that, but it takes a lot of work and a lot of money to get around that stuff too. So I'm not too sure that that's happening. Unless if our government is really, 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 I'm going to end it there because they are incompetent. But you could say what you will, people. Because also, because, I don't really let comments happen in my other videos. But this one, the GamezAttack podcast, because I want you guys to comment back, ask questions, whatever. Hopefully it's gaming related, because if it's not, I don't know if I'm going to really answer the other stuff, but I'm hoping it's gaming related because shit, that's what we're talking about here. So if you got any comments or questions, feel free to either email me at oldfreakygamer@gmail.com. That's my email address where you can send your comments and questions at, or you can just go to the YouTube under this podcast. Make sure it's under the podcast video that you are heard this from. So this one would be episode 14. And, write your comment or question under there, and I will try my darndest to read it, talk about it on a podcast if it's good. Be nice, be thoughtful. And always share it to other people. Let other people know about this podcast. I've been doing this for a long time, but I rejiggered this. Like I said, I've been doing the Games Attack podcast for a long time. Back when it was called the Games Attack Audiocast, back on my old thing, old feeds and stuff, and I did the hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of those. But I rebooted everything when I, became OldFreakyGamer here, hence the shirt and all that, which you can't see because I'm very bad at keeping stuff at certain distance and lengths. But anyway, yeah, the comments section on YouTube for these videos for the podcast will be open for all of you guys. So please keep them clean and nice. Let's not go crazy and say, oh, you don't know nothing. I know everything, even though I don't know nothing, because trust me, even though I'm not in the business of anything that is gaming, I've been following gaming for a long time. And even though I'm not a gaming journalist and I'm behind the scenes, I still follow everything to the letter and the T. I might not have the resources or the people, or I don't go to events and stuff, but I still do follow, read, and look into a lot of stuff. I do some research, trust me. And anybody can fuck up anytime. Like I did the last time when I had my podcast a few podcasts ago when I said, hey, Microsoft owns Activision-Blizzard. And then it fell through a little bit because, the EU, the UK, I keep getting those wrong because now it's all separate now. The UK fucked them over, and now it's official, folks. It's official because Microsoft said so. And we're going to talk about that. Got a bunch of games that I played in the past weeks. We'll talk about that after we talk about the Activision-Blizzard takeover by Microsoft. And we got a bunch of other news, tons of news, lots of news. I'll try to keep it short and sweet. I have some actual podcast questions that have been on my phone for a very long time here from people that emailed me, and I haven't gotten back to answering any questions yet of those. So I'm going to read a few of those at the end of the show for this. So let's get into some stuff here. Why don't we get into talking about Microsoft and Blizzard first? Because you know what? Might as well kick it off with the best of the best here. Microsoft completes its Activision-Blizzard acquisition. A lot of people are, I guess, happy or not happy. Call of Duty is now part of Xbox. I would say, okay, whatever. I'm not a big Call of Duty fan or anything, but I will play it when it's on Game Pass. When they become on Game Pass and stuff, I will play the Call of Duties. I won't play online, but I'll play the stories of the Call of Duties. What I'm happy about is that eventually Diablo 4 will be on Game Pass, and maybe Warcraft might get on Game Pass somehow. I know a lot of people are kind of doubting that because they're like, well, it's a subscription-based service for Warcraft, and they make a lot of money over there. I don't think Microsoft or anybody else is going to want to touch that for a while just because they're making money. And I'm like thinking, don't put that past Microsoft and Phil Spencer. They put a lot of franchises under the Game Pass banner, even ones that are subscription based. That would be like your Elder Scrolls Online, Fallout 76, which I don't think anybody cares about too much, but they still provide content for it. I know I hated it. Maybe it's better now. I don't know. But, Elder Scrolls Online, was it Elder Scrolls Online? Yeah, Elder Scrolls Online, a bunch of other stuff. So I can see World of Warcraft eventually coming. The problem is that a lot of this stuff, because they're Activision-Blizzard servers and stuff, and it's going to take a while to migrate from their servers to the Azure Cloud servers and all that other stuff. And then, they got to figure out how to get sign-ons and everything else pushed over. I know when they did Minecraft, that took a while to migrate accounts and stuff and put it all in the Microsoft ecosystem of accounts and stuff. So it's going to be a little while for that, but I have a feeling that World of Warcraft, I'm pretty sure you guys will not be having to pay 15, what is it now per month? I never even look it up because I never really played Warcraft. I might have played like 2 seconds of Warcraft and I'm like, oh, I'm overwhelmed. But if you're paying still like $15 or something a month or whatever it is, Well, now if it does become a Game Pass game, like you can play it via Game Pass subscription, imagine how much money you'll save. And plus, you'll be able to play all the millions of other, or thousands, not millions, but thousands of other games that are going to be on the service. So it would be like a win-win for people that play like PC games and stuff. Because will World of Warcraft ever go on the Xbox? I don't know. I don't think that would happen. I think that would be too much of a thing. Maybe if they did like a new World of Warcraft, maybe, I don't know, from the ground up. I don't know. Warcraft's been around for a very long time. Very long time. Even when I was a young lad, it was out around, and now I'm like, what could they do with World of Warcraft? I know they're not going to keep it separate. I know they're going to bring it into the ecosystem. I think World of Warcraft still provides expansions, sells expansion packs and stuff like that, so they could still make a lot of money from that stuff. That's a big one. That service, subscription-based service, has been around for a very long time. So we'll see. But I know they're going to do it because they know they can get a lot of people onto Game Pass that way. And that's what Phil Spencer and them are trying to do. Get everybody onto the Game Pass subscription plan so that they can keep getting more of that money. Sure, they're getting the money from Warcraft separately, but as it becomes in the Microsoft ecosystem, I would not hesitate to think they wouldn't do that. You know, if they're doing it with all the other stuff, I wouldn't doubt that they're going to do it with Warcraft. And like I said, Call of Duty, the biggest one, Diablo, Overwatch, you know, it's got its hits and misses right now. They're not doing, I guess, that sequel that Overwatch 2 isn't doing so hot or something. I don't know. Gamers are finicky. So, but I don't ever play that stuff. The only things I would play is like Diablo, Call of Duty, maybe some World of Warcraft I would get into. Maybe, I don't know, eventually. But I don't know. I'm not a part of that world. I never was. Because, you know, it was always expensive for me. And I never had back when I was young, I could never afford a PC to run World of Warcraft. So I never had the internet connection to play World of Warcraft. And, of course, like I said, I didn't have the money because I was a poor motherfucker. So, yeah. That would be something that would be harder for me to play. But now that they finalized their $68.7 billion deal, or 69, given taxes or whatever, I don't know. Took over 2 years. We know that because of UK regulators and a little bit of the FTC, but they didn't really worry about the FTC. But, yeah, Phil Spencer, the company's doing a lot of promotion now. They're talking about, hey, today's a good day to play. We finally welcome Activision-Blizzard King to Team Xbox. Together we'll create stories, experiences that bring players together in a culture empowering everyone to do the best work and celebrate diverse perspectives. And then I think, okay, Phil Spencer, okay, Microsoft. You got all these companies still under your belts. Where's all the games from half of those companies? Even as I consider myself an Xbox fanboy and stuff like that, a Microsoft Xbox fanboy, I will agree with people. I'm like, well, you got all these other tons of companies. I know it's hard to make games. I know it's hard for, you know, game making, publishing. They're costing way too much now, and they're getting way too big, and people are expecting way too much from these games nowadays. Look at Starfield. That took a lot of time, money, and still people didn't like it as much as they wanted to. And they still said it was underachieving in some ways. Me, I'm still playing it. Eventually I want to finish it because I do got a lot of other games I want to play, past, present, and future. But, you know, after this podcast, I'll probably be playing some Starfield on my ROG Ally. But people were very disappointed about that as well. And I'm like, ugh. Now, Redfall, I can understand. I tried playing Redfall. I was disappointed in Redfall. That was a snore fest. I tried to play it. I tried to like it, and I was just like, what? Vampire? Okay. Boom, boom. Okay. Boom, boom. Vampire. But, you know, they got to prove to us over at Microsoft, and or I should say Xbox, Phil Spencer's got to, now that this whole deal is going to be done and they're behind the scenes, I'm sure all the accountants, all the people, all the bean counter, all the people are like, okay. It's usually a slow, and this is like a perfect time for them because, the holidays are ramping up. And when it gets close to the holidays, that's when Microsoft and a lot of these companies like to power down a little bit for the holidays and stuff. And because there's not much going on, they're released all their big games, they're doing all this stuff. And this is the kind of time when things ramp up and then slow down. And what else does Microsoft, does they have anything else big-wise, game-wise coming out for them? Or is it just like third-party games and stuff like that, I'm thinking? Because if they don't really have anything really big going on coming up over at Xbox and stuff, I think what they're going to focus on is this whole transaction, this whole migrating everything from Activision-Blizzard into Microsoft culture and stuff like that. Get everybody on the same page, get everybody working together, they're probably already trying to see what they got games-wise and property-wise, get all that archived and whatever together. They're probably going to Activision-Blizzard and talking to the people and getting their teams over there to help try to get these games ready to be, or whatever games they can get to be ported over to Game Pass eventually, which my other thing is, I think it was Bobby Kotick, the evil guy that will eventually leave Activision-Blizzard. He's supposed to stay there, and I got it written down up here. He's supposed to be staying there. It says remain CEO until the end of 2023, which obviously he's not going to just jump ship right away. Oh, here's my money, bye. Even though people would love for that to happen, for Bobby Kotick to leave right away. But, he's got to help with the transition of the companies and the assets and everything. He's got to make sure everything runs smoothly, and he's got to make sure his check clears and everything from Xbox before he can finally go away, which, Microsoft's willing to help him go away. And he knows he wants to go away because he wants to get away from all the bullshit that is been in Activision-Blizzard that he probably helped 100% cause. I'm not giving him anything, and I know he's got his golden parachute. Here's the thing. A lot of the richest people in the world, a lot of the most powerful people in the world, a lot of them are pretty much scumbag assholes. I'm not saying every single one of them, but most of them that have a lot of money and a lot of power and that run companies like this, most of the time, behind the scenes, they're big douchebags and assholes. Doesn't matter if you're man or woman or child. If you got a ton of money in that, a lot of them are. There's a lot of good people, though, too. But a lot of them, especially a lot of them that I ever met throughout my life, I met a lot of rich people. I got company people. I know my freaking, right now in my company, the restaurant chain, major restaurant chain that I work for, I'm not going to say which one, I know the CEO owner directly because he comes to all his individual, places, and he comes to my place and he knows me directly. He talks to me directly and stuff like that and asks questions. He's a decent guy, but who knows? I hear things behind the scenes about other parts of his family or whatnot and everything else, but it seems like he cares. Plus, got to care about your money. You got to see where your money's being made and see how well it is and stuff. But I know a lot of them. In my former jobs, working on a farm, because I worked on a farm before, I knew the owners, the so-called CEO owners of the company too. I knew there was a whole family that ran this whole farming industry, and I knew them directly, and they were trying to, pretend to treat me like family, even though I'm not the family, and I always knew that because I don't get too giddy. I'm never the person type that goes, oh yeah, okay, we're family. No, I'm a worker. I know that. I just make sure those checks get cleared. But that's different story. This is video game talk. But like I said, Bobby Kotick will remain till 2023, end of 2023, maybe a little bit in 2024 if needed, but eventually he'll leave. But like I was saying, I bet you Microsoft's now, their whole focus now that they don't have to worry about any more litigations, any more of this other stuff, even though the FTC still swears they're going to try to go after Microsoft again for the Activision-Blizzard thing, so whatever. But now they can focus on their properties, these new properties, these more games, and trying to build up that catalog for Game Pass more with all of the Activision-Blizzard King's properties. But my thing is, because you remember Bobby Kotick, like I said, and I'll come right back to this, he stated that none of these games will come on the Game Pass till 2024, which obviously it's going to take a bit of time to get these games properly transitioned and stuff and Game Pass ready. Plus, what I'm thinking, and it's not just him, I bet you they told him they won't be coming on to Game Pass till 2024, because I got the suspicion, and this is just me, I could be totally wrong on this. This is just my 2 cents here. I think they're going to wait till their Xbox Summer Showcase, when they do their Summer Xbox Showcase in June. I think they're going to wait till then to not only say, hey, remember we finally got this company? You're probably wondering what we're doing with it, because they're going to work throughout the beginning of 2024 until the summer, and they're going to make all these games available. And then when that time frame hits and they do their presentation, they're going to say, hey, everybody, all these games are now available on Game Pass. And they're just going to dump a whole truckload of the older games, maybe some new games. They're going to have Diablo 4 on there. They're going to have your Call of Duties. They're going to have whatever else out there, Tony Hawk's, whatever else they can get on there, onto Game Pass, with all the properties, with all the stuff. That's what I think they're going to do. And then they're going to probably talk about some new games or some future projects or something going forward. I think that's what they're planning on doing. I don't think they're going to just start bringing it out in the new year and stuff and say, hey, Happy New Year, here's some games. We're going to slowly trickle out these Game Pass, these Activision Blizzard King games to Game Pass right away. I think they're going to wait till the summer so they can make a big deal and a big presentation and all that, and properly welcome Activision Blizzard to Xbox. But from now to then, they want to transition all the assets, all the new workers and people working there and all that stuff. And it's going to take a little while. So that's what they're going to be doing. And it's going to take a bit of time. And they actually have this, which I have here. I would bring it up on my screen here, but then I'd have to copy and paste and all that bullshit. So I'm not going to do it. But you can look it up yourselves. You can find it on The Verge and everywhere else. They have Microsoft came out with the Xbox First Party Studios organization chart. And it's crazy. This chart is fucking crazy. They got Xbox Game Studios, where they got 343, Compulsion Games, Psychonauts unannounced IP, which is, I don't know why that's like that. They got In Exile, Mojang, Ninja Theory, Hellblade Project. Like, they got some, I don't get why they got like weird names for stuff. So why do they call it Psychonauts? Why don't they just, it's Double Fine. So it's Double Fine, Obsidian, Playground Games, Turn 10, Rare, the Perfect Dark Team, the Coalition, plus Unreal Experts. I don't get, that's weird. The State of Decay people, World's Edge, whole bunch of stuff. Apparently they even talk about how many staff they have on each thing. So amongst all the Xbox Game Studios, they got 2,500 staff members. Then for Bethesda Game Studios and stuff like that, they got id, Tango Gameworks, Machine Games, Arcane, ZeniMax, Roundhouse, Alpha Dog, stuff like that there. And basically, they talk about having 2,300 plus employees there, staff there. That's a lot of people. And now with the Activision Blizzard King takeover, Now they're adding like 3 separate companies that are together under their brand. So now they get Treyarch, Infinity Ward, Sledgehammer Games, High Moon, Toys for Bob. What is that? Aeronaut. Oh, I guess they do Tony Hawk and Crash Bandicoot, Call of Duty PC ports and stuff. Okay. Digital. Whoops. That kind of sucked. I wanted it to go farther in. Okay, that's here. Maybe if I open in a new tab, will that work? Ah, there we go. Because I wanted to zoom in because I couldn't see these things because there's so many things here. So we're in the Activision part. Digital Legends, mobile gaming, I guess that is Call of Duty Warzone. Raven, they do that apparently. Demonware, MLG, Major League Gaming. Oh yeah, because they do esports. I forgot. They got the Major League Gaming thing. Solid State Studios, Activision Shanghai Studio. Is that still a thing? I thought they pulled out of China. Well, we'll see. Activision Capture Studio, state-of-the-art motion capture. They probably use that for the Call of Duty games. Activision-Blizzard Media. And just that part of Activision alone, they estimated staff is 8,500 plus employees. I wonder how many of them are going to be gone, because that's a lot of marketing, a lot of this and that, and that's a lot of employees. Then you got the Blizzard's entertainment side of things. You got Blizzard, Albany, Austin. This is all Blizzard, though. This is all Blizzard, but they got, different places like Blizzard Albany, New York, which is here. Well, close to here. Well, not close, but in New York here, where I live. Austin, Blizzard Boston, Blizzard Cork, Blizzard Irvine, Blizzard Seoul, Blizzard Shanghai, Blizzard Sydney, Blizzard Taipei. So basically Blizzard stuff around the world, and then they talk about BattleNet and all the other stuff. A lot of stuff, and a lot of games that they do, like StarCraft, World of Warcraft, Diablo, Overwatch, something Rumble. Wait, is that Arclight? Warcraft Arclight Rumble? Okay. Well, all that under just Blizzard alone. 6,000 estimated staff. So that's a lot of people right there. And then for King, which we never hear much about King except for Candy Crush. That's what King's known for, is their Candy Crush stuff. But they're the studio that does the mobile gaming directly. That's all they do is mobile games. And apparently for King, with their Candy Crush, Farm Heroes, I guess, Bubble Witch 3, something, I can't even read that. 2,500 employees just for that. 11 game studios from Barcelona, Stockholm, London, Berlin, Milano, Malta, Dublin, San Francisco, Chicago, Los Angeles, and in New York. Whew. So Microsoft, Xbox, is getting a lot of stuff. It's going to take them a long time to get all of that to work properly in the Xbox family of stuff. This is a big deal. It's probably, even though one of those things that you might like or you might not like, I know all the PlayStation people will probably are like cussing at the skies. No, motherfuckers! But it is a big deal because, what Microsoft, Xbox, Phil Spencer, and them want to do is bring, they want more games under their belt. Because they know they're still in last place, and they know that Sony keeps eating their lunch still all over the place. And this merger could help bring them up a little bit. Bring them up a little bit. Get some more people onto the Xbox gaming side. And here's the thing. Even though they still say Xbox, you don't really have to play your games on Xbox. You can play a lot of these games, and most of these these now all going to be first party games and stuff. You're going to be able to play most of this stuff on PC as well. So if you don't like Xbox, but you'll play on a PC, you don't even need a gaming console then to play all this stuff. So if you really don't like the Xbox for some reason, stated reason, but you don't mind PC, this is a good reason to big reason to get a gaming PC nowadays, or build a gaming PC, which I would highly suggest building your own, because once you get to know how to build a PC and how to work in and how things work and how to fix problems and stuff in it, it just makes you an overall better gamer, PC gamer to me. Because, for me, I build my PCs from the ground up after so many years and stuff, and even though little shitty problems happen and stuff, it's just a fun experience. It's something that I feel proud about, instead of just going to the store and buying something off a assembly line of PCs that people make, like from Dell and stuff like that. Even though they say, oh, we make these PCs just for you the way you want them, but they're all on assembly lines. They're all with parts that break easier because they're not as robust, because they got to save some money somewhere. And for me, I like to build my own PCs and stuff because that's what works. And like I said, who knows maybe there's still going to be some games that are going to still come to PlayStation stuff. And I know they're going to put some stuff on the Switch or the future Switch, because especially if this so-called future Switch, which we'll get into in the news, is more powerful and stuff and has more space and stuff, they might be trying to push more games onto that, or try to get Game Pass in general to work purely on the Switch 2 or something. No, they're going to try to work something out with Nintendo. They want to be still buddy-buddy. Sony, I don't know. Now, finally, after the Wicked Witch is finally leaving, the CEO, Jack Ryan, is finally leaving Sony Computer Entertainment of Is it just America, or no? He did all of PlayStation right now. Once he's gone, there's gonna be I don't know about this other guy, this intern CEO from Sony, but maybe he'll be more open to working better with other competitors and stuff, and he won't just have the pitchforks out for Microsoft and stuff, and maybe they'll work together on stuff, and maybe Microsoft will consider to put some games on, or I should say Xbox, Phil Spencer, will put some games on PlayStation for you guys as well. I don't know. We'll see. There's still competition, and Microsoft has that bigger change purse with them, so it's all in terms of seeing and finding out what will happen. Sony would do the same thing. Sony will buy a studio or whatever, like Insomniac Games, and they'll just keep everything behind the closed. They'll keep it all on their own platform, because that's what they do. That's what these companies do. They buy stuff, buy companies, studio stuff, merge them in with their culture, and they'll keep them behind their own closed doors. Now, Nintendo doesn't really do that, because they got enough people making games for Nintendo game platforms and stuff that keep us engaged. And right now, as I still consider calling them, consider calling Nintendo the Apple of the video game world, because they're making money hand over fist still. They got tons of still games coming to the Switch. And even though they got probably a new Switch coming on the horizon, they're still going to make tons of money on this Switch and the games and stuff like that. And they still get people porting games to the Switch and stuff like that. So they still got it. And people say, well, what if the next one fails like the Wii U did and stuff? And they're not going to be down on it. They got a lot of bank. They got a lot of smart people. They got a lot of people that know how to make games there, and it's never going to happen. Just like you'll probably never see Nintendo get sold to anybody, like Microsoft or anybody, because they got too much. They got too much, goodwill. They got too much money. They got too many things going on that nobody will ever manage to compete. Even though a lot of people out there want to say, oh, they're not a competitor like Xbox and Sony. They're competing. They're a competitor on their own level, They're not directly competing against Microsoft or Sony, but because they know, hey, doesn't matter if somebody buys an Xbox or a PlayStation, they're always going to buy a Nintendo console on the side because we're cheaper a lot of the times, and we provide these other games that we know families and people want to play, and we say, hey, we know you're going to come here no matter what. It's like if you want to go take your family to Disney. Disney knows that people and families are going to come to them for a lot of stuff. So anyways, I'm just trying to think here. I'm trying not to overthink things here, but I'm happy as an Xbox gamer, PC gamer, all that. General overall gamer, I'm happy with this. I would have definitely been even happier if Microsoft would have purchased like Sega. I know that's another hard, probably almost nearly impossible thing to do, but you never know. And the only reason I would want Microsoft to purchase Sega is because they got Persona, they got the whole Yakuza stuff and all that, and a bunch of other games and Sonic and stuff. And I always thought that would be a cool thing, and they were thinking about it in the past, but because it's a Japanese company and all that, we know it would be super hard to nearly impossible to buy or something. So at least they're working with them. At least they got a strong relationship with Sega. Hence why we're going to be getting that new Like a Dragon, The Man Who Erased His Name game coming out in November for Game Pass day one. So, that's good. That's good for people like me that was originally going to spend the money to buy it, but now I'm like, oh, thank God I didn't pre-order the game because I'm going to be able to play it on Game Pass day one for free without paying. So it saves me $40-$50. Yeah. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Microsoft. Thank you, Xbox. Even though I'm paying for my game subscription for Game Pass Ultimate, this is one of those reasons why I'm happy about this stuff. But I'm a real weird kind of a guy. Phil Spencer also commented on what it means to merge Activision-Blizzard with Xbox first party. Plus, it makes him a bigger legend because, he's, even though he's, the CEO of Xbox and whatnot, and he's the leader and all that, back in the day, he was working in the programming division of the games division. He was the grunt. He was the guy that loved video games, and he still loves video games. Like, I always look on my Xbox app because, and you can have your friends on there, and he's one of my fake friends on my Xbox app. He's P3, and I look at it and I'm like, damn, does this guy ever work? I always see him playing all these video games because he's always playing video games. Always. I don't know if it's just him or he has his family on the same account, but I'm always seeing it playing Starfield, this, that, this. I'm like, damn, even I don't got that much time to play video games. How does he got the time to play video games? But he plays video games. He's not like other CEOs where they're like, yeah, I see the games. I just want the money. Like, did you ever see Jack Ryan ever talk about his favorite video game or anything? No. Maybe some people at Nintendo, but I always hear, even hearing Phil Spencer talking about competitors' games, Nintendo games. He's always talking about, oh, this game is fun from Nintendo. Congratulations. Or Sony even. He even talks about their games all a lot. He's talking about, he was talking about the Spider-Man game. He was talking about The Last of Us and stuff. Openly on, social media saying, oh, congratulations, you guys, these are the best games ever. I love playing these PlayStation games. He doesn't just say, oh, Team Xbox all the time. He actually talks about other people's games. So how many other people, CEOs, do that for, Xbox things? So I always think of Phil Spencer, and I never talked to him directly yet. I would love to. I'd love to talk and interview him and have a conversation on a podcast, but I'm not that big enough to probably even get into near the door where he's at. But if I was able to talk to him, man, that'd be an interesting conversation. I'd be thinking outside the box too. I wouldn't just be thinking like, oh yeah, who's the next company you guys want to take over or something like that. You know, a lot of people would say that. I might ask that at the very end, but I'd be like, dude, how do you find the time to do anything gaming related? I can't even find the time half the time. Even though I've been playing a lot of games over the past couple of weeks, but sometimes I don't have no time. And this guy seems like he has a lot of time. Got to have a lot of assistance for that. Yeah, he's going to be known as the legend of running game divisions and stuff. And, you know, he's a likable guy, you know, and as long as he stays in the company, you know, Microsoft will hopefully do good. He's just got to focus with his fellow company men and women, and they got to focus on getting those games, those first party games and stuff to Xbox and PC and stuff. They got to focus on that. They got Forza Motorsport out the door. There's a bunch of other games behind the scenes. Like I said, it's just a matter of time, how big these games are, and they can't be too big anymore. They got to focus on getting maybe smaller games, nice, good-looking, smaller games and stuff. I wouldn't mind. I'm sure a lot of people wouldn't mind because, you know, all these games coming out now, it's like open world this, open world that. I'm like, I love my open world games, but sometimes I might want a smaller niche game like that High on Life game that was still open world, but it was smaller niche. And then you had the what was that other game called? Oh, not High on Life. The other one that came out. Oh shoot, I forgot the name of it. Oh, it was the one with the music and all that shit. Oh shit, I can't believe I forgot the name of it. It's been a little while, but and like I said, I'm old, so here maybe I can find it on my phone. I think I got the app on my phone open. No, I don't. Of course not. Not when I'm doing a podcast. I don't got the app on my phone working right now. Go figure. But I think they're gonna have some interesting stuff going forward. And like I said, he's got a lot of work ahead of him, but I got faith. He'll do a good job. And let's see here. Can I find the game that I was going to talk about? A lot of games. Oh, Hi-Fi Rush. There we go. Whew, I don't know why that was not in my brain right now, but Hi-Fi Rush. That's what I was thinking about. You know, small niche games like that can make the game's library bigger, that can be really good to play. You don't always need big giant games. And a lot of companies, a lot of game companies are going to learn that either the hard way or they're going to watch other people and eventually learn and fix that problem, but a lot of people still just want to make those gigantic large games. Like I said, this will take a little bit of time. It's going to take a little bit of time. Like I said, probably the summer we'll get these games starting to come out. I'm mostly excited for Diablo because I told you guys I would hold off on purchasing Diablo because I knew they were going to take over Activision-Blizzard eventually. I didn't think it was going to be 2+ years, but I knew it was going to happen eventually, and I'm like, you know what? Instead of me spending $70 on Diablo 4, why don't I just wait till it comes on Game Pass, play it. Sure, it's not going to be the big hotness that it was back when it released, but it'll be something that I can eventually play. Now, will I be able to play it on Game Pass for PC, though? Or is it just going to be Xbox? That's going to be something else that I'm going to have to find out about. And I hope it comes out on PC because I really want to play Diablo 4 on PC. And if it's being owned by Microsoft, I would not hesitate to think that they wouldn't put it on PC Game Pass at that time. That's probably some of those other transitions that got to happen for a lot of these games because a lot of these games were just sold directly to like Steam, on Steam for PC and stuff, not on Xbox, because, Bobby Kotick and them never believed in Game Pass. So the strategy at Activision-Blizzard was, I'll sell it on all the consoles and stuff, sell it on, the Blizzard.net thing or whatever, or sell it on Steam or whatever, which they were starting to do. But I think eventually, like I said, a lot of these games come on PC Game Pass and Xbox Game Pass. That would be beautiful for me, because then that means I can get the achievements and stuff like that. And maybe they got to put achievements in the games because they didn't originally have them in for games and stuff. But, a lot of work for a lot of things. Got to think about it. And I'm an achievement whore. That's one of those reasons why I would love it if I could get Diablo 4 on PC, because that's the best way to play Diablo is on PC. Sure, I could play it on Xbox, and I played Diablo 3 on Xbox, but now that I got this nice gigantic gaming PC, studio gaming PC here, I would love to play it on PC. Yeah, why not? Why not? And that's why I've been kind of transitioning to play more games on PC than on my Xbox, but I still do play a lot of games on my Xbox, but then there's a lot of games that I play on my PC as well. So you're vice versa, because a lot of the third-party games, you got to play on Xbox, because if I want to play it, I can't get it on Xbox for PC or Game Pass PC because they don't put it on there. You got to get it on that. Just like the upcoming Like a Dragon game. That's not going to be on Xbox PC, so I won't be able to play it on my PC Game Pass or whatever. It's only going to be for Xbox. So I'll be playing on Xbox. Hence why I still need an Xbox. The day that we probably won't need a console anymore and it's all can be in the cloud or a PC, that's going to be a long ways away still. I bet. And that's all a whole nother talk right there. But yeah, congratulations, Microsoft, Activision-Blizzard. You're now one. Maybe in the future we'll find out if Microsoft wants to try to take over another company. We'll probably hear about that eventually, but they should just focus on what they got now. They got a lot of stuff to go through, and eventually bring those games to us. Bring those games. I'll be waiting patiently, because we still got a lot of games now, but I'll wait patiently. So that was the biggest news. That was the gigantic news out there that, like I said, Activision-Blizzard purchased by Microsoft finally. Now we could say it's official. So why don't we get into the quickness here of the games that I have played in the past weeks. And I'm just going to run through these a little bit. I'll stop at the ones that I feel like need to be talked about. But basically, I'll just go through them, because we got a lot of podcasts left to talk about stuff. And I just don't want to waste my time telling you guys about the same things. But I do.
The games that have been played in the past week.
That's a good game.
Enjoy your gaming.
Yeah, I had to add that stuff at the very end. Why not? So for that nice little transition there, these are the games that I have played from the past couple of weeks because, I always put out this podcast every 2 weeks on Mondays on every 2 weeks. So the games that I've been playing, like I said earlier, I'm still playing Starfield. Like I said, it's fun most of the time. There are times when it does get a little repetitive and boring and stuff, but I've been finding the fun very easily in Starfield still, and I've still been sticking with Starfield for a while now, and I haven't been shy to say that I have put in a little bit of modding, a little bit of plugins, I should say. Not really mods, but mod plugin where I can still get my achievements and go into the console and type in console codes to do my little cheats to get God mode or infinite money or power and stuff like that, and have some fun and still get the achievements. Because, like I said, who am I hurting with that? The achievements I'm still getting achievements because I'm still playing the game, but I'm playing the game a little bit more enhanced, which is fine by me. I'm still having my fun with it, or even more fun with it. And I can get through the game a little bit faster, even though I'm still playing a lot of it. It's still a lot of game left that I'm playing through. But yeah, I feel like it is still fun for me. I've been making more of my own fun, and I am just a beast of a pirate in space. My name is Sheila. I'm level 200, and I am just whooping everybody's butt with my Super Star Destroyer. Well, actually, I have the Bird of Prey. That's what this one spaceship that I have. It looks like the Bird of Prey from Star Trek, and I'm just blowing everybody away that comes near me. So, but still doing the main storyline little by little. I go off of that, and I do a lot of side stuff, side quests as well, because I don't want to just do the main story and get through that. I want to do a lot of the side missions as well. I just went on planet Earth and our old moon. Earth is all gone. It's all sand, and the only thing that survived on our original Earth was NASA and a spaceship and stuff and stuff like that. Everything else has been just buried in sand or whatnot. I'm like thinking, that's weird. Where's all the buildings? You would at least see some skyscrapers sticking out of the sand, right? And no, you don't see none of that. So it was kind of weird. And then I was on the moon, our moon. So, because they go there, because they even said they did a little bit of stuff with NASA and stuff, and wanted to put some NASA in the game and stuff like that. So that's pretty cool. I find that really interesting. So I'm basically in our solar system right now. I could go to Jupiter, Mars. I'm sure I got to go to Pluto. Well, even though people say Pluto ain't a planet, but hey, they've been teaching us that for a long time now that it was a planet. So I'm still going to say it's a planet. The sun is still around apparently, so it didn't implode or explode. So yeah, but Starfield's still fun for me. I know, like I said, it's been getting a lot of ups and downs, a lot of hate. A lot of people say it's boring. A lot of people say it's fun. It depends on the person. It depends on the person and how you play the game and what you think is fun for you in games. There's a lot of people I hear and like gaming podcasts that I listen to, because I listen to a lot of gaming podcasts, and you got some people that just hate every game that's been coming out for everything, and they just down talk every game. I'm like, dude, why do you even bother? If you don't like any of these games and you find a problem with every single game and you whine about every little thing about every game, why play any video games? There's always going to be something. Like, I gripe about stuff in video games all the time. Like I recently did in playing Forza Motorsport, which I will talk about next. But I'm still playing it, and I'm still finding a lot of fun out of it. But I still gripe about shit in it, but I still have my fun. But it seems like a lot of these people, a lot of the older people, I should say, in the games industry-ish, or should I say games coverage industry, or whatever you want to consider it, the side people like me, complaining why, and just it seems like they're miserable and saying, oh, where's the real games? Where's the fun? Oh. And it's like, dude, maybe you should just get out of this business. I don't know. Do something else. Talk about something else, because you really don't seem like you're having any fun with anything. And me, it takes a lot more stuff. Like Redfall. I tried to find the fun. I tried really hard to find the fun in Redfall. I just could not find it, and yes, it blows major chunks, that game. Even though they're still supporting it and they're still updating and doing things with Redfall, it really blew chunks. It really was horrible, and I couldn't find the fun in Redfall, and I had to delete it off my system. I tried. Maybe I'll go back to it one day in the future, but I couldn't, and I had to let it go. But, same thing with Fallout 76. I wanted to like that game. I was hoping that was going to be a great game. But after playing the demo, that thing was horrible. And I still hear it's kind of, but there's something in the back of my neck that says maybe one day I might want to try to go back into Fallout 76, because now I could just download it for free and play it. Maybe there'll be something in there that I might like. But that I'm thinking, because I had such a bad experience, but I tried to find the fun in it. And then there's other games that I completed and I completely hated, but I completed and played them still, like a long, long time ago. You remember a little game called Aliens Colonial Marines? By the Borderlands people? By Gearbox? Oh my God, I was so heartbroken. Even though the statue, because I got the collector's edition, I got the little alien statue with the alien and the what do you call it, the loader robot and stuff. Oh, that was cool. But the game was horrible. Even though there were some bits and pieces to it that were nice, you know, they had some like callbacks and some people of the game and stuff like that. The game was boring and horrible. It was super repetitive, and I was just like, ugh. But I still completed it. I still played it and completed it and tried to find some fun out of it. But a lot of people haven't. And that's what brings it back to Starfield. I think it's a great game for me personally. I found the fun in it. I like doing the God mode stuff. I like doing that. Maybe that's what they got to do. Maybe they got to go play it on PC, you know, do the thing where you can put in the plug-in to get your achievements. Or if you just don't care about the achievements, then just enter in the codes in the console of the game and have your fun. Make your own fun. If they let you do that, make your own fun. I don't know. I know I'm a supporter of Starfield, but I also knew what I was expecting, and I got what I was expecting. I knew what Todd Howard and Bethesda was going to do with that game, and I knew how long it was in development for, and I know how their history, and I'm like, this is how it's going to be. Followed in space, basically, with some other stuff, and there you go. Now, sure, I always keep saying, I admit that they should have added some other creatures and aliens in the game. Yes, but that's something else. So let's get into Forza Motorsport, the game that I love to hate, that I hate to love, that I love to play still. And last on Friday, when I did my GameOn stream of Forza Motorsport, which I had that major audio issue, which I found out that me microphone here, which it wasn't, I don't think it was a microphone's fault, it was OBS or something with the USB must have changed it, but my microphone wasn't really active. I was talking, but I think the only thing that was picking up my sound was my camera here, because it has a microphone on the camera. And when I was talking, I didn't realize in the stream, because let's face it, not many people watch my streams on Friday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern time on youtube.com/OldFreakyGamer, which they should. I think it's something to do with people play games or something else. I don't know why. Nobody really why. I get people, but I don't get too many people. And that's the only day besides maybe a Saturday during the day or something that I can actually sit down and stream a game or something. Because during the week, I can't really stream games because I'm working and then I got stuff to do. And I know a lot of other people can stream during the week and stuff. I just can't. I got other stuff. I got working out. I got house stuff. I got all the other stuff. So I usually choose Friday nights. 8 p.m. Eastern time is the best time for me to, play through the night. But people watch the videos after the fact, so it doesn't really matter. It's a win-lose situation, and it's not like I can get paid for it. I do it for fun still, but I was playing. I didn't know I wasn't projecting my sound out. The first thing that happened, I forgot to hit record on my local copy of the recording. So luckily it was early on. It was very early on. So I was like, oh, I forgot that I didn't push record. So I pushed record and I just edited in a new start for the show later for the video that I taped and put up on YouTube after the stream. So that was okay. But then, like I said, I knew that my voice was kind of soft. I was like all the way in the background here. You can hear me sort of, but I wasn't talking into my microphone, so you couldn't really hear me too well because I was not talking into my microphone. And for some reason, I didn't pick it up, even though I have the audio mixer right here in front of me, and I should have been able to see it. But for some weird reason, I did not notice because I was busy in the driving zone. I was in the gear zone, folks. I was playing Forza Motorsport. Luckily, though, that game was capturing damn good and the audio from the game was excellent. So I'm sure people would love to just watch me epic fail and play the video game of Forza Motorsport off my PC more than hear my stupid voice all over it. So maybe it was a win-win. I don't know. Maybe you guys are like, oh, great. You can't really hear this motherfucker. Now we can watch him play this game where he sucks at and you hear and see everything in the game and not listen to this guy. Unlike other streams where all you hear is the people and you can't barely hear the game because they never want to bump up the game audio loud enough. And it drives me nuts because I'm like, I want to hear the game some more. I know you guys need to talk over it, but how come I can make it perfect where I can have the game audio high and my voice high, except for last night when I was doing my GameOn session and it was kind of low because I'm recording this podcast on Saturday. So anyways, it's a fun game, even though I hate it because it's a turning. And I don't know if it's because of the game in general or if it's because my dead zones in my controllers are bad or something. I'm thinking it's all of the above. I'm not going to answer that back. But anyways, yeah, I was having fun, but the only problems I have, or a couple problems, I have like a couple now, problems in Forza Motorsport. And I had it through most of the series as well, but it's now apparent on this one. Turning these curves, like first off, these tracks that these are based on real racetracks for the circuit racing, and I just think, why did they make the curves so curved? Why did they make certain things like so hard to turn around and stuff? It makes me like, why? Why can't you just do a regular curve here or there? I know you want to make things a little bit more interesting, but still, it seems counterintuitive. It seems, I don't know, a little stupid and stuff. I don't know. As not a big racing fan as I used to be when I was a little kid, which when I was a little kid, I mostly only watched NASCAR. It was only NASCAR, and maybe some drag racing and stuff. But circuit racing, it's completely different. But it's fun to play. I suck at turning, and I suck at slowing down. And sometimes when I slow down, it seems like my vehicle doesn't slow down. It just keeps sliding because this is the second thing that I hate about this game. Why can't I change my street tires on my vehicle? Why won't it let me change my street tires on my vehicle? Why can't I get to the point where I can put on different street tires or different tires on my vehicle? But because it's a street car, I can't change the tires on my street car. It doesn't make no sense. Because if I could change my tires and I can have tires with better gripping capabilities or something, I would do it. And in a game where they let you customize every little part of your car and stuff, and I go to the part with the tires, it is blocked off with a big X and say, no, you can't change these tires. And then I go, why the fuck do you even show it if I can't even change my tires in the car? Why can't I change the tires in a car? I can change my tires in my car anytime over here in real life. I don't get it. Why can't we change the street tires in the car when a lot of these cars are street cars? I don't know. I don't get it. It makes no sense to me. I don't know why. But I think it would improve my overall turning if I could have stickier, more grippy tires. The rewind sometimes gets too aggressive in this game. I know it did that in other Forza games, but there should be something where you can change how much the rewind rewinds all the time in your games. Because sometimes it'll rewind just a little bit, and sometimes it'll just rewind me and it'll take me back a half a track or something. I'm like, why are you still rewinding? Why are you still rewinding? I'm like, no, stop. And it's still rewinding. I'm like, why? I just need to be rewinded just enough. There should be a thing where if I hit rewind, and I hold it down, it'll just rewind to the point where I let go of the button off the controller. That would be a good thing, maybe. That'd be the thing I would like to do. But it doesn't do that. And I've been playing more so on my regular PC, Forza Motorsport, because like I said, I was streaming from it. The console version, even though it looks great and stuff, it's not as high quality as the PC edition. And I always knew I wasn't going to really play Forza Motorsport on my console as much because I was going to play just other games on it. So ultimately, I'm probably going to delete Forza Motorsport from my console because I know I'm not going to play it on there. And the thing I think I'm going to play on the most, which actually the turning works better on than the PC, and mind you, this is the funniest thing, is my Asus ROG Ally. The thumbsticks on my Asus ROG Ally, the analog sticks, I should say, pushing them to turn, the car turns better on my Asus ROG Ally than it does on the Xbox or PC part of the game. And I'm like thinking, is it because the sticks are attached to the system itself and it's like the Switch where there's no bottlenecks or anything? Because that made me wonder really big time, like, why does this game play way better on my ROG Ally than it does my ultra expensive PC, which for you video viewers, as you can see here, my controller is attached via USB cable to my PC. So there should be no lag or anything or connection problems between this controller and my PC playing of Forza Motorsport. But yet, I still have a dead stick issue or a stick whatever issue. You know, they call it dead zone stick issue. So how come I don't have that on my Asus ROG Ally? Isn't that weird? Or is that interesting? I think that's very interesting. Even though on the Asus ROG Ally, the game runs on very low quality. It runs on the lowest quality and settings. But when I look at it, it looks beautiful still on the Asus ROG Ally, even though every setting is on low on that thing. But it runs beautifully. It runs slick, beautiful. The racing's great on it. The turning's great on it. And I don't get that low memory issue on this game. And I was wondering if I was going to get any low memory issues or anything with the game. And no, it runs beautifully fine. I'm just wondering, and I was saying this on the stream, which nobody could hear me speak at. But when I was trying to talk on the stream, my theory is I think with Forza Horizon, especially Forza Horizon 5, I'm getting the low memory issue because Forza Horizon 5 is a big open world of racing compared to Forza Motorsport where you're just racing on a track, an individual track with a subset of cars and this and that. So maybe there's less needed to run the game that makes it better on the ROG Ally and not having those low memory issues. But yet with Forza Horizon 5, it needed as many resources as can, and it was using up all the resources plus some to run the game on the ROG Ally, and the ROG Ally just doesn't have enough memory and stuff to run it or something, and it was giving me the low memory issue. I don't know. That's theory. Maybe it wasn't optimizing well enough for the ROG Ally. I don't know. Just a theory. We'll have to wait because I'm sure next year, in the summer, I don't think I'm wrong about this, but I think this might be happening. I bet you we'll be getting they'll announce the next Forza Horizon game, unless if they're going to try to keep this Forza Motorsport shiny and good and new till the following year or something. You know, they want to keep it like a couple years apart or something. I don't know. Going forward, I don't know. They used to do a Forza Motorsport and then a Forza Horizon, a Forza Motorsport, and that used to be on a year-to-year basis. But maybe they might do this like on a couple years basis where they just promote Forza Motorsport and then the next Forza Horizon won't be for a couple more years or something. I don't know. Or maybe it'll be in the summer. But when the next Forza Horizon comes out and I can play it on my Asus ROG Ally, I'll see if that works or not, or if it has the same memory issues. And then I'll know for sure if it's just because the game is so big and out there, or if it's just because maybe something with the old code or something. I don't know. It's a lot of issues that could be with that. But Forza, like I said, Forza Motorsport, fun game. It is a circuit racing game, so you're just racing on the real tracks that they provide in there with your and you work with individual cars. You're not necessarily racing with tons of cars. You buy a few cars at a time, and depending on your capabilities and stuff, you're able to race and stuff against harder avatars. You can earn more race points or credits. You can buy more vehicles, but they want you to focus on your individual vehicles because you can level them up, and that's how that goes in that game. And it's really fun. I'm really having fun with it. Even though I have my little gripes with Forza Motorsport, I'm still having my fun with it. And I waited, and it's free, because it's on Game Pass, and I didn't pay the $35+ they wanted for it if I wanted to play it early, because, I didn't really care about the extra cars and stuff like that. So I said, I'll save my money, wait till it came out on Game Pass, and then play it on Tuesday and Friday. So that's what I did. And going forward, I'll keep playing it. I'll play it on my PC because I got it on my PC and it looks beautiful on there. And I'll play it sometimes on my ROG Ally just because why not? Have a cool racing game on my little handheld that can? Oh, like I said, that's the little handheld that can. I know there was a lot of doubters and there's a lot of people that complain about certain things about the ROG Ally, but shit, that thing's been a fun godsend ever since. Like I said, I've been playing. I should have put Starfield on there because I've been playing Starfield on my ROG Ally, but I didn't put it on there on my thing here. But I have been playing Starfield on my ROG Ally as well, and I'm going to put that on here now. There we go. I put it on my show notes here. I have been playing Starfield on my ROG Ally, and that game runs beautifully on the ROG Ally, folks. That runs beautifully. I have so much fun playing Starfield on the ROG Ally. I love having a portable console, video game console in my hand, playing that stuff. Sure, you got the Switch, but you can't play stuff like that on the Switch. Other games I've been playing on and off, just, if I didn't feel like jumping into major games and stuff, sometimes I like to play some other light games and stuff sometimes, and one of those games would be Microsoft's Solitaire collection. I've been playing it on the PC sometimes where I just, either I'm watching something like a movie or something, or I'm just trying to relax and I just want to do some Solitaire. That's something I've been playing. Finished Cyberpunk 2077 and its DLC, and I actually deleted it off my Xbox. I still have it on my ROG Ally, and I still think I could put it on my PC anytime, but I deleted it off my Xbox because I played as much as I could of it. I beat the DLC story. I did the story. I beat it. Did all the DLC extra stuff. Got all these achievements. And I said to myself, you know what? I'm very satisfied with what I did in Cyberpunk. The DLC, the Phantom Pain, is that what it was called? The Phantom Liberty. Phantom Liberty. Phantom Pain is Gears or Metal Gear Solid. No, Phantom Liberty. It's a very good story. Depending on what you think about Cyberpunk already, if you don't think very highly of the game already, maybe $30 for the DLC might be a little much for it. But for somebody like me that loved the base game of Cyberpunk 2077 and all the stuff it had to offer me, paying $30 for the DLC was not that bad of a deal, especially because I am, got Idris Elba in it and a bunch of other people. I had fun. I had fun with the DLC. It was a good extension of the story. I was able to end the game in a different kind of way, in a weird way. It always ends in a bad way. Let's just say all the Cyberpunk endings end in a bad way, pretty much, in a one way or another. I'm not going to go into any specifics, but let's just say originally your character might, I don't know, cease to exist in certain parts, and then this one he or she survives or does exist in a certain way, and it was a good game. I loved it. I tried to play as much as I can of it. I even went back into the main part of the Cyberpunk game, city and stuff, and did some extra stuff, and I got my value out of the game itself and the DLC, and then I said bye-bye, delete, because I know I wasn't going to jump into it anymore, at least on the Xbox. PC and the Rogue Ally, maybe I will, because I want to just screw around in Night City sometimes. Yes, I'll jump in and test out how it looks on the PC and Rogue Ally sometimes. Why not? Cyberpunk, very fun game. I hope the next Cyberpunk game, they don't screw it up or anything like they did with this one. I know jumping out of the gate, it wasn't the best of times for a lot of people. For me, I played it at launch, even with stuff broken in it. I still had a blast. I still played it and beat it. So, it depends on the people that play the game and stuff. So, but I liked it. So Cyberpunk, beat it, played it, deleted it from my Series X. Because that's what I do. When I beat a game off my console and stuff, and I know I'm not going to play it anymore, I just don't store it. I delete it. Save that space for another game. Been dabbling into playing some more Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Trilogy on the PC. Been on and off with that lately. Those should I say stories or stories/trials on the Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Trilogy. They're very, very long. They do drag out for a long time, I find out. So that's why I'm still playing it, because it takes a long time to play these games or these stories and trials in the game series trilogy. And sometimes you got to do some detective work, and that takes time and stuff. But I'm getting through it slowly but surely, because eventually I want to beat Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Trilogy, because don't forget, they got the next... what is it called? It's not Phoenix Wright. It's and hold on, I can just bring it up right here. What's it called here? Apollo Justice Ace Attorney Trilogy comes out January 25th. Now, I probably won't be getting that right away, but that's supposed to be coming out on Xbox and PC and all that stuff. And I bet you eventually that'll go on Game Pass as well, because whoever thought that Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Trilogy was going to be on Game Pass, but it is. It's a little far out when it came out, but it's out there. And I was surprised that it came on Game Pass, but it is. And it's fun, folks. If you like a story-based kind of a game with, it's no action to it or anything. It's just a story-based clicking action type of a game, and you're doing a trial and stuff, and you got to know your stuff. It's a fun game to play. Works with your mind and your soul, and you get it's a fun trilogy. Been playing that on PC now. I used to play on a console, but when we got Game Pass, and it was on Game Pass for PC, I'm like, oh, I'll just switch it over to my PC and play on my PC. A lot easier than playing it, starting up a console, playing it, and doing that with the PC and stuff, because it takes a lot longer, but it's fun. Also been playing, which I'm not going to talk too much about, but this is going to be coming up soon. I think, was it this? Yeah, it's going to be not this week, but next week, probably around, I don't know, the 25th or something. I'm going to put it out, or I could put it out earlier. I don't know yet. I haven't decided, but it's not going to be this week. But the next week, I am going to be putting out my Let's Play, my spooktacular Let's Play of Dead Space Remastered, where on this Halloweeny or early Halloweeny episode of Let's Play, because I made it a nice spooky episode, I said I was going to play Dead Space Remastered, which I did, and I got it already recorded, pre-recorded and stuff, and I'm going to put it out around the 24th, 25th, that week, around there. And the following week on Halloween, I will already have played the Callisto Protocol, which that will be a very spooktacular show, a Let's Play show for that Tuesday. I haven't played the Callisto Protocol yet, but I have played the Dead Space Remaster a little bit so far, and boy, it takes me back. It takes me back with some memories. A lot of stuff I did not remember. A lot of stuff is probably new, so a lot of it, I'm like, wait, I don't remember this. This must be new, because they did this from the ground up, and they really made it really decent. It's a really fun game still. I will be getting back into playing more Dead Space Remastered and beat that game again. I just got to get all these other games done and out. This is probably something I'll probably end up playing in the winter time or something like that, but I am going to get back into playing it. I just wanted to start it up and play a bit of it. Like I said, I was going to do for the Halloween episodes of Let's Play, just to have some fun playing in these spooky Dead Space adventures, you know. And then, like I said, the Callisto Protocol will be on Halloween when I release that episode of Let's Play for that spooktacular episode. And those are going to be two great spooky Let's Plays. And trust me, they're spooky. At least the Dead Space is pretty spooky. You know, I wasn't really jumping around or anything, but I was like, a little bit of jump scares here and there, a little bit of getting a little bit of a reaction out of me, but I remember how these creatures move, these necromorphs or whatever they're called in the game. I think they were called necromorphs. And but still, it was really dark, really spooky. It looks beautiful. They really did a great job at that Dead Space Remaster. I hope Dead Space 2 Remaster comes out eventually from EA. I'm not going to hold my breath, but hopefully it does. I've been playing this on the Series X, of course. Definitely a great game. It's probably really cheap now, too, as well. So definitely check it out and look at it and play it. Also, a couple more games here I got. My last two games, more Persona 4 Golden. I'm on my ROG Ally. That's where I play my Persona 4 Golden on, is my ROG Ally, because that's just the perfect place to play it, is a handheld, because why not? Why not? Why not have some Persona 4 Golden fun on the ROG Ally? So I've been playing a little bit at a time. It's usually when I wake up from on the weekends. I didn't do it this weekend, but last weekend when I woke up, I had my ROG Ally over on my bed stand, and I just turn it on and I play a couple hours of Persona 4 Golden, get a little farther into the game, then turn it off and do other stuff. And then, you know, sometimes I'll play it before bed. I'll sit there, play a little bit of Persona 4 Golden before bed on my ROG Ally, and then I'll just go to bed. It's pretty fun. It's a pretty fun game to play. And if you haven't played any of the Persona games, they're interesting. Definitely interesting. Nothing more to talk about that. Just saying I played on there. And of course, last week when I did my stream, I played in my Minecraft again. Woo! Surprisingly, I haven't been having the big urge to play a lot of Minecraft. And I think it's because there's a lot of games out there that I still want to play and beat. And then eventually when my games go down a little bit, then I'll be picking up and playing more Minecraft. But I've been keeping my Minecraft urges a little bit sublime and a little bit pertained a little bit, which is pretty fun. Pretty interesting that I've been doing that. But when I did that stream the other week, that last Friday, not the Friday before this, but the last Friday of the other week, had myself some fun doing some Minecraft and stuff like that. It's not for everybody, because I play Minecraft straight. I like to just break blocks, build stuff, go a little spelunky stuff like that. You know, sometimes it's not as fun for most people, but sometimes it is. I keep it straight up. I'm a pure Minecraft player. I play on, of course, on the PC, the Bedrock edition. So, yeah. Minecraft. Everybody knows Minecraft. A lot of people like Minecraft. It's still one of those top charted games out there. Yeah, because why not? Let's see. So those were all the games that I played in the past couple weeks. So did a lot of gaming for a few weeks, you know. Usually I say, oh, I don't do that much gaming, but I've been picking up a little bit. When the weather gets a little bit worse outside, like it's been with the rain and stuff and the coldness outside, I'm able to sit inside a little bit longer and play a bunch more games and have myself some more gaming fun. Because why not? Because why not, folks? So I am going to take a little mini break here. You guys will not know this, but I will. I'm going to take a little bit of a break. Now we're going to come back, and we're going to come back with a lot of gaming news. Yeah, a lot of gaming news, because a lot of big gaming news has been going on throughout the 2 weeks, and I'm going to be talking about it. So that's going to be all coming up next. And then at the very end, like I said, I'm going to have some other stuff. Let's see here. I might talk about some other stuff here because I got some show notes here on my phone that I wrote down. And then I got a couple questions. I got a few questions here from some people that emailed me some questions. And we'll finish up the show with the questions. How about that? So I will be right back in a sec after this quickie break. So be right back, folks. And like I said, you guys won't know too much. In the video version, I'll have a little break time thing going on. But in the podcast version, you won't know either. So be right back.
The games news from the past week.
Or weeks. I got to really update that eventually to weeks or make a new one that says weeks. Unless if I go to a weekly podcast again, but it's weeks since I do do these podcasts now. But yeah, a lot of gaming news. Some big, some little, some in between. Some you probably never knew, or some you did know. Like I said, we did announce, and I think I talked about this last time. Jim Ryan from Sony is leaving. You know, he's retiring. He's getting sick of the games. Sick of people complaining to him about the games for PlayStation and stuff like that. You know, he's sick of the Xbox Activision-Blizzard deal that just happened. He wants to leave. He wants to take his money and go. He's sick of America because he's like, I had to be in America for all this stuff, and I don't like America. I like Europe. So he's gone. That was old news. I think I talked about that on the last podcast. I think I remember talking about that in the last podcast. But then it's some more news and more recent-ish news. So apparently, you know Teardown? Anybody who ever played Teardown on Steam? It's a very fun game. Well, it is coming to consoles. It's coming to the Xbox Series X and S. I don't know if it is coming to PlayStation. It did say they were coming to PlayStation. Also available for PS5. Yes, it is coming to PlayStation. I thought they said they were even going to try to put it on Switch. I don't think that would be good at all. But they're mostly touting for Series X and S performance. Apparently, they're targeting performance for Series X and S, including 120 frames per second support. Of course, the Series X gets higher frame rate option than the Series S because it has more power. So the PC mega hit Teardown, which I hope you all knew about, would be coming to consoles in November this year of 2023. Ahead of the game's launch, developer Tuxedo Labs has revealed how the game will perform across the Series X and S systems. Although Teardown will be a variable frame rate due to its sandbox nature and the ray tracing that it uses, because this game is made with voxels and ray tracing, so of course it's going to be pushing the GPUs and the processors and stuff of the consoles. The team still has pretty lofty, ambitious goals across Microsoft's pair of current-gen consoles, and they're basically touting the performance targets at launch for Series X performance mode, 1080p / 120 frames per second, which that's pretty good. I don't know what my PC does. It's got to do it's got to be very powerful. I don't know. I don't know. It even can bring down my PC with Teardown. The Series X quality mode for 1620p at 60 frames per second. And then the Series S is only going to get 1080p, 60 frames per second, which, you know what? That's good, because usually people complain when Series S doesn't get 1080p, 60 frames per second in games. So when this game says it could do 1080p, 60 frames per second on the Series S, and then it could do all this other stuff on the Series X, I'm sure people will be thankful for the people that will play. Even though the game has a more simplistic art style, you could say, but we think that these are some solid performance aims, as the article is stating, as the people from Tuxedo Labs are saying. The team states that Teardown is completely rendered using ray tracing, so to get it running at these figures would be impressive. Tuxedo Labs also states that they're working with the Series S that has been challenging but exciting prospect to tackle. So they're not saying, "Oh, this is a drudge on our resources." No, they're happy that they got a little bit of a challenge for them. I like that. I like when a developer says, "Hey, it's going to be challenging to work on this lesser console, but we're excited to tackle that project just because we want to put it on that console and make it great." I like that. Not complaining. Well, we'll have to see if everything of what they're saying comes to pass. It's supposed to come out on the Series X and S on November 15th of this year, 2023. I don't know if that's also the same thing for I don't know if that's the same thing for the PS5 version of it. I don't know if that's coming out the same day, probably, or it's already out, or if it's coming out later. I don't know none of the details. It doesn't say that. It just says for the X and S. So that's what we got there. Over the week, I think it was the beginning. When was this? The beginning of the week or later in the week? I'm trying to look at when this article was published. I'm just looking. Wow, they don't even put on when the article was published anymore. Huh. Well, this happened during the week. Sony confirmed that the PS5 Slim confirms a PS5 Slim for this holiday season. It's basically a tad bit smaller, updated stuff like little bit of stuff like the smaller PS5 design comes, or slightly, I should say, PS5 design comes with a terabyte of storage for the PS5 and the PS5 Digital Edition, up to 825 gigabytes in the original versions of the console, which was weird and stupid. I didn't understand that, but it's going to have a terabyte of storage, even though some of that's going to be used by the system. So think of that as still 825 gigabytes or something, I don't know, or 900 gigabytes, whatever. The new model provides an option to add an Ultra HD Blu-ray disc drive to the PS5 Digital Edition. The thing that I have to say about this, though, before I get into more of the article, they should have did this to begin with. They should have did this in the first place when they were doing this thing. I know maybe it would have been a little bit more challenging and difficult to do, but if they wanted to, give people options and choice and maybe save some money, which here's the thing, the Slim edition of the PS5 Slim, you're not saving any money. You're actually paying more money for the PS5 Slim in a way. And if you buy that HD Blu-ray drive separately, that means you're going to be paying even more money for that. Which to me seems like, okay, they're just trying to get an extra buck or a few more extra dollars out of this thing. And they're just making it a little bit different. It looks the same, sort of. I don't know how much smaller it is. Apparently, a lot of people say it's not that much smaller. They're even selling this. It's got a new stand, like a new PS5 stand that you got to get for this thing separately that costs money. You can't, they just don't give it to you for free, which I find that to be horrendous as a person that would be a gamer. They said they reduced the volume of the system by 30% and the weight by 18% and 24% compared to previous models. There are 4 separate cover panels with the top portion in a glossy look, while the bottom remains to be matte finish. If you buy a PS5 digital edition, you can add the Ultra HD Blu-ray disc drive for the PS5 later, and as it will also be sold separately for $80 or more if you're in different countries and stuff. The new PS5 model will be available starting this November in the United States and select local retailers and direct.playstation.com. And then it will continue to roll out globally in the months that follow once inventory of the current PS5 model has sold out. The new PS5 will become the only model available, like they usually do. If you want the PS5 with the Ultra HD Blu-ray disc drive together, it's going to be $500. If you want the PS5 digital edition without the Blu-ray drive, that's going to be $450. So that's what you got to look forward to here in the States. It's worth noting that the PS5 digital model has gone up in price with the introduction of the slim version. The original PS5 digital edition cost $399. Yes, that's true. This has gone up a lot more. Whereas the slimmer PS5 digital edition costs $450. This means the PS5 slimmer. This means the slimmer PS5 with the disc drive costs $50 more than the slimmer PS5 digital edition, which, like I said, it's just Sony wanting to make an extra buck out of this. If this was the thing that they were going to do from the start, they should have just did it from the start. Like, it's not a bad idea to have a disc drive that you can put in later if you don't want it right away, or if you feel like, oh, I want to put in a Blu-ray player. Or if they were a good company and they weren't trying to scam, sorry, all you PlayStation fan people out there, and they would have did this from the start and they would have made it a decent cost and price, or they weren't doing this price gouging now, and they said, oh yeah, there's a new disc format coming out or something. Here, we're going to have the drive ready for your PlayStation 5, so when you buy it eventually, you can pop that in. So if you don't want a Blu-ray player and you want the new Blu-ray standard or something, they can pop that in and buy it. That would be cool, because that mean you can upgrade your console with extra parts when new technology comes out. That would have been something really cool. That would have made Sony have better news for Sony fans and stuff. But this just them slimming it down, making it cheaper, easier and cheaper and lighter to ship and stuff. Which, yeah, lighter and slimmer, which makes it cheaper to ship because they can make the boxes smaller, they can packaging smaller, stuff to weight, to ship it is a lot cheaper. And if people want a disc drive afterwards, they can just sell them the disc drive for nice little hefty bunch of change. And I don't know. People say that, I even talked about this. I think that Microsoft was going to do something similar to this eventually, but I don't know if they're going to still do it. It'd be interesting if Microsoft came out with a nice, like a little slim box, which they do. It's called the Series X, but something as powerful as the Series X and have it slimmed down and look differently. That would be cool. It wouldn't have a disk drive. I think when they were showing before in those leaked documents and showing that all digital Xbox Series X, whatever edition, that looked pretty cool. I would probably have gotten that maybe, but I'm not fully all digital yet. I like to purchase some physical games when they're available. Yeah, and the stand, I forgot. It doesn't say how much the stand would be. They didn't add that in this article here. Let's see here. Where's the stand? Yeah, they don't talk about the stand at all. They don't talk about the stand at all, but because I'm looking for the stand, because also like I said, I heard in other news reports that the stand is sold separately and that you had to purchase it separately to use with this new PlayStation Slim model, which I'm like, oh boy, because it's Sony. And like I said, instead of providing you with better games and stuff, they're just going to charge you more for your current game, for your current console and stuff, and not provide more games. I don't know. Like I said, when the new regime comes to PlayStation, or the intern new regime comes to PlayStation and runs PlayStation, hopefully they do a better job at listening to the customers that they serve, and maybe they'll try to get more games for that platform and whatnot. I don't know. Like I said, I am an Xbox, PC, Microsoft fanboy, but shit, I really would want to love a PlayStation again. I would really love to want to love owning a PlayStation again. Or, shit, like I always say, I could still buy their games at least on Steam. As long as the new regime doesn't think that that's a bad thing and stops doing it, because that could happen too, where they say, we're not going to release any more games to Steam anymore. We're just going to be only on PlayStation. And I'll be like, okay, whatever. That can happen too. Things change. Things can change. Switch 2 leaks, Nintendo Switch 2 leaks. We're talking. Everybody likes to say price hike. It's not a price hike. It's a new console. Of course, it's gonna be a more expensive machine. And they're going, no, it's a price hike. But it's not the Switch. It's the Switch 2. It's gonna be the Switch 2. So basically, the new Switch rumors for the new Switch state that it's going to be expected to retail at $400. Basically, let's see here. I'm just looking to see if there's any more information here before I talk out my butt. Yeah, but it's supposed to be like $400 or something instead of $399.99. It's supposed to be like the Switch 2 digital only edition, $400, and then a special standard edition, which is going to have the cartridge for your, Switch 2 and Switch 1 games. That's going to be $50 more, so $450 for that one apparently. So there's going to be two models of the Switch 2, the one with and without the cartridge things coming out. That seems like an obvious thing. $50 for the slot, that's a little much for it, but okay. I wonder how much putting a little cartridge drive in your Switch 2 would be. I'm surprised they don't try to make a detachable cartridge drive for the Switch 2. Just like the PlayStation. Oh, you want that cartridge now slot? Here you go. Blink. Well, you can pop it into your Switch 2. There you go. Can charge $80 for that then. They're talking about this console may have AR features, and of course, it won't have an OLED screen at launch, which we've been hearing a lot. It's going to only have an LCD screen at launch, and then eventually they'll bring an OLED model out to market eventually. AR, they tried the AR thing before, I remember. They tried that with the Nintendo 3DS, I remember, with the AR cards and stuff and playing with them. They didn't really do much with those. I didn't ever see anything happen with the AR too much. Maybe, what was it with? Was it Pilot Wings for the Nintendo 3DS or something? They did some sort of AR stuff with that, I remember. But otherwise, there was really nothing they did with that. And now they're talking about bringing that back. So what are they going to do with the AR in this? I don't know. I don't think it needs it. Give it more storage, more battery life, more power to the system, which they're going to be doing, I guess, for most of it. And just let us have, keep the digital and a physical edition of the with or without the cartridge slot. That's understandable. But I don't call it a price hike. I call it a new console. And this one person was saying this is a price hike, but it's not, because it's not the Switch original. It's going to be another Nintendo Switch. It's going to be the new Switch 2.0. It's going to be new hardware, like an Apple phone or something. It's not a price hike. It's a new console. I don't know. You can't get that out of people's minds. There's a lot of cheap people out there. You can't get that out of their minds. I understand. Switch 2 rumors and overdrive. Nintendo states that it will still be working on Switch games for up to 2025. So basically, you got till 2020, the year 2025, before they stop making Switch games, before they just go purely Switch 2.0 or the next Switch hardware for games. So that's great. It's not something I really was caring about, because I had my Switch for a very long time. There's plenty of software for the Nintendo Switch out there, digital, physical, so it's not like it's lacking any games. It's got plenty of games for it. If they're still going to make some games that work for the Switch, hey, great. Great. I'll still play if they're good games, but hey, when they announce that new console and it comes out, it's all Switch 2.0 ahead. What more can you say on that? And there's nothing else here that I am seeing that I care about, so we'll get out of that. Valve again stating that don't expect a faster Steam Deck in the next couple of years. Valve talking about hints that you might not get a new Steam Deck until around 2025. That's funny. 2025. A lot of 2025 talk. Or even 2026, he says, before a Steam Deck 2. And the reason why they're stating, or Valve is stating, I guess his name is Pierre-Loup Griffiths. That's a weird name. Pierre-Loup Griffiths, stating that we won't see a new, Steam Deck till 2025, 2026, is because they are hoping that technology will take a big leap forward. What he's talking about, he wants to see a nice leap in performance without a significant hit to battery life, or even better battery life over time, with new cells and stuff like that. He's talking about how the deck offers a fixed performance target for developers, and that message to consumers is simple, where the deck can play the same games, such as changing performance level, is not something we're talking about taking lightly, and we will want to do so when there is a significant enough increase to be had. We also don't want more performance to come at a significant cost to power efficiency and battery life. I don't anticipate such a leap to be possible in the next couple of years, but we're still closely monitoring innovations in architectures and fabrication processes to see where things are going from there. So over at Valve and the people at Steam Deck and stuff are saying, hey, the Steam Deck is nice right now. It's good. It just came out not too long ago. We don't want to put out something that, is just a stepping stone. They want to wait till some real performance updates. I guess they were talking about some stuff about poorly optimized games like The Last of Us Part 1, Redfall, which who cares about that, and Starfield, which obviously Starfield wasn't made to be played on Steam Deck. Well, kind of. It's on the Steam store as well, but still not very optimized for that. Now, like I said, very much so better optimized than playable on my ROG Ally because that's running Windows architecture, meaning it's running native code to work with the games, unlike the Steam Deck, which uses SteamOS, which is basically Linux for that system. So a little bit harder with that, and graphics drivers and stuff that they got to work with the Vulkan driver for a graphics driver team, optimizing stuff like that for games and stuff. He states now, I can confirm Starfield is now playable on the Steam Deck, and I am willing to tolerate terrible graphics to advance this quest way as the Steam Deck OS 3.5 preview hits. So basically, of course, yes, Steam Deck with a lot of games. Plus, they want to improve the battery life so it lasts longer. Let's see here. The Asus ROG Ally they're talking about here showed us that. See, they even looked at the Asus ROG Ally. The Asus ROG Ally showed us that playing Starfield on the Ally and an Enyo Geek 1S, that's that other one, which both basically house the same chip as each other. The game feels smoother on the Asus largely because its variable refresh rate screen smooths out the dips. Yes, that's probably one of those reasons, which that's why I love my ROG Ally, because it does a lot of weird technical things be under the hood with the fast refresh of the screen and all the other stuff under the hood that does some weird stuff to make the games look a lot better than they should, especially with my low performance things like I was talking about. Everything's running on low, but it looks great on my ROG Ally. Like everything was running on low with Forza Motorsport, but everything was looking great on it. And it plays just fine because they do tricks to make it work better. Let's see here. They're talking about stuff like, well, if we can have the Steam Deck plugged in and it can have a turbo mode like both the handhelds he's talking about. Perhaps Valve just gets AMD to shrink and optimize the same chip to use less juice. Perhaps it finds a better screen. They're talking about a lot of stuff. A larger battery. I think battery technology's got to start going forward. Lithium-ion battery technology. That's the first thing I want to get improved. I want these smaller batteries to hold like way more power. I want them to hold eventually enough power to power, a gaming PC or something like the ROG Ally or something for like, I don't know. I'm shooting for the moon here. I'm shooting way beyond the moon, like a week, like smartphones used to be. I know that's completely outrageous, but if I wanted to play a game for like a week, or even if I play for a couple hours and then I turn it off, I play for another, at least let it last for like hours, like 8 hours or something a day. Can we get there with battery technology someday? I don't know. I keep hearing these little rumors and stuff out there in the rumor mill saying, hey, battery technology could be better. We can get it better and last longer and stuff, but I never see anything come of it. And performance and stuff, like I said, Valve, they were the first people out with the Steam Deck. They were the first out of the gate. Sure, we can say Switch and Nintendo, but for PC games and real gaming, well, PC games, I'm not going to say real gaming because, of course, the Switch is real gaming, but games, PC games on this device, like I almost bought a Steam Deck. I was very close to buying the Steam Deck, and then I said to myself, why don't I wait till it becomes a little bit more powerful and stuff and has that extra little bit of oomph and stuff that I need to play games on? So I was already, like I said, I was going to wait for the Steam Deck 2. And then when I heard about the Asus ROG Ally, I'm like, Windows-based gaming system, more power under the hood, using Windows and AMD and their Radeon technology, higher refresh screen, the controller, the on-screen gamepad looks like an Xbox controller. And that's what ultimately got me into paying all that money and doing all that stuff to my Asus ROG Ally. And I'm here today still saying I love my Asus ROG Ally. Even though there's some people that don't like it. Some weird guy named Jeff Gersman out there, he hates the Asus ROG Ally. He gave it up, but he never really played or tested with it. He barely had it for a week, and then he gave up on it. If he would have stuck with it a little bit longer, maybe he would have liked it. But, he's set in his ways, and, I still like him and all, but sometimes he just doesn't give things a proper chance. So for me, like I said, I gave it a chance. And sure, out of the gate, it was stumbling and stuff, and I had to, but I was doing some more stuff with it. I was upgrading its storage. Instead of having the 512 or the 1 terabyte, I wanted the 2 terabyte drive in there and stuff. I wanted it all fresh and clean, Windows and 11 in there and all, and I did it from the ground up, updating it and all, and I got it all updated and everything working, and now it runs, like I said, like a champ. Sure, it's Windows 11 under the hood, and stuff still takes, I got to update it a lot, I got to do this and that. Sure, it's a computer in your hand, so you got to understand it, but playing PC games on it, fun. If you're going to use the gamepad and controllers, the analog sticks and the controller, it's the best. Now, have I played like any games like Command and Conquer Red Alert on it or anything yet? No. Maybe eventually I'll try something like that, but playing games like I've been playing, because like I said, I wanted my main purpose, my main reason to get the Asus ROG Ally, as I always say, I want it as I want it to complement my Xbox and PC. I want it to be my Xbox extension. I want it as my Xbox portable, so I can play my Xbox games or PC Game Pass games on the ROG Ally, or buy games on the PC Game Pass and stuff and be able to have them on my ROG Ally and play them and get achievements on it from it, instead of booting up this giant monster of a machine every time. Not that I won't boot it up and play games on it, because I still like to play games on my big PC here and do other stuff, but I like to go in the living room sometimes. Maybe I don't want to turn on the console, or I do, but I just don't want to play a game on the console. I just want to watch like some TV. Like today, after this podcast, I'm going to go watch some Lord of the Rings or something. I'm going to bring my Asus ROG Ally in the living room. I'm going to play some Starfield on that while I'm watching a movie or listening to the movie. And I get to play on the ROG Ally, and I'm not running this PC all day, sucking up 10,000 gigawatts of power to run this PC, because it takes a lot of power to run this PC. And yeah, so that's my whole main reason why I wanted the Asus ROG Ally, and I love it. Sure, there's some gripes I have about it. Sure, there could be better things in the next versions going forward, and hope Asus continues over the Asus gaming part of the group, because that's who did it, the ROG Ally group. I hope they continue to improve and make the next Asus portable gaming system even better. Maybe a little bit more battery life. Not that I really care, because I'll plug it in. It lasts 2 hours on a regular charge for a game for me, and that's good enough for me for what I play. But if I want to play longer, I just plug it in, so no big deal. But a little bit more power to it, a little bit more power under the hood, meaning graphics power, CPU power, a little bit more memory in there. Let me have at least 32 gigs of RAM in there for my stuff. You know, I would love that. I would pay extra for more RAM. Or even if you can bump it up to 64 gigs, give me a 32 gig, or give us 3 versions, a 16 gig, a 32 gig, or 64 gig. I would pay all that extra money for the 64 gig version. And if a lot of that went to was used also for the memory for the graphics, that'd be beautiful, because then I'd have all this graphics memory. And a little bit more power to the CPU, beautiful. Then you can up-res your games and run them faster and better on the Asus ROG Ally 2 or 3 or something, whenever it comes out. And sure, I might have to have it plugged in all the time, but who cares? Because that's what I do anyways. It's not a big deal to me. But, hey, we all know this is just the start of the portable gaming avenue. And Microsoft's looking into it too. Microsoft, Xbox, they are watching this category very closely. They're like, we can sell a lot of extra Windows licenses and all this other stuff and have more, if we can make it Windows better for portable gaming devices like the ROG Allies and the Anyos and all those other stuff, the Lenovo one that's just came out or soon to come out. They're looking at that stuff. And I hope they do something with that, because that'd be pretty cool. Other news, and this is just game sale news, and this is going to be going on until February the 13th. So you got plenty of time till the sale ends, till February the 13th. It says 2023. I think they mean 2024, because it's already been past 2023. So it says offer ends Monday, February 13th, 2023. I think they meant 2024 by accident in this Microsoft thing. So, you know the new Tomb Raider Remaster collection that's coming out next year? Yes, Tomb Raider 1 through 3 Remastered, starring Miss Lara Croft. You know, the first originals that they're remastering, making them better, and all the other stuff. And it's coming with all the expansions and stuff like that, the Lost Artifact expansion. The games that I never really played too much of. I played them. I dabbled in the first 3 Tomb Raiders, but I never really got into them. Well, now they're going to be on Game Pass. Well, you got to buy them. They're not going to be on Game Pass, but they're going to be on Xbox. And you can purchase them for PC Xbox or Xbox PC as well. And they're going to be on PlayStation and I think Switch. I forgot if they're going to be on Switch. But they're going to be, it's going to coming out everywhere. But Microsoft sent me this because this was on my wish list. They had a sale, which it's still going on, folks. So this is till next year. So I'm saying February 13, 2024. But you might want to get in now. I pre-ordered it already. Instead of $30 for these 3 remastered Tomb Raider games, it's only $26.99, 10% off on sale now to pre-order it. And like I said, I pre-ordered it because I love the Tomb Raider games. I wanted to play the original ones, and now that they're remastered and they're going to have achievements for them, I'm like, okay. So I spent $26.99 plus tax, and next year I'll be, when the Tomb Raider 1 through 3 Remastered Collection comes out, I'll be playing them. And hopefully enjoying them, because those were the original 3 that came out a long time ago, and they were good. Like I said, I dabbled a little bit in them, not too much, but a lot of people loved them. And I'll be playing these games on my ROG Ally probably. And PC, because, of course, I got to do some game journalist stuff and show you guys how they look on the PC and stuff. So I'll show you how the games play, and I'll play them on my ROG Ally, of course. So cannot wait. So everybody, get on this pre-order sale now, because why not? And for only $26.99 for 3 games, 3 remaster games, that's a good deal. That's a very good deal. And they're going to have all the expansions, secret levels, modern platforms, and this definitive collection. They're not doing it like they do it, like Take-Two did with the Grand Theft Auto collection, or Rockstar did with the Grand Theft Auto collection. They're really making it good. So, yeah, That's going to be fun. Tons of video games are coming out. I was going to go through these lists, but I don't want this podcast to last for 4 hours or 3 hours. We're already 2 hours in, but there's a list of video games coming out. I should wait till next time to talk about all these, but a lot of them have already came out already or probably been talked about, and there's stuff coming out later, and it's on the PlayStation. It's on IGN. You can look it up. It's called Video Game Release Dates, the Biggest Games of October 2023 and Beyond. And they got it for PlayStation. They got it for upcoming PS4, PS5 games. And they got Xbox. They got Nintendo Switch games coming out. Xbox games, releases and stuff like let's see here. River City, Rival Showdown, Detective Pikachu Returns, Super Mario Wonder, which is coming out next week, which I cannot wait for, which I will be doing a stream on Friday. Just looking at Where Move It, Turok 3, Shadow of Oblivion. This is on the Switch. Persona 5 Tactica. Yes, we know that. That's coming out. A lot of stuff on Nintendo Switch Online and stuff. Nintendo Switch game releases, like the Tomb Raider Remastered Collection. Xbox Series X and S games coming out. Already have Forza Motorsport. City Skylines 2, stuff like that. There's just a lot of stuff. A lot of games coming out, and they got a list of them there. I was going to go through them all, but we don't got the time. I want to keep going on. I got a bunch more stories here. Most of them are probably from Cyberpunk or CD Projekt Red, good and bad. So Cyberpunk 2077 surpasses 25 million units sold, outpacing The Witcher 3 in games sold. So they did a pretty good thing there. They sold a lot of Cyberpunk 2077, even though the game came out brutal with a brutal launch. It was all coming out all shoddy, and it was getting itself roasted. Even though I played it and I liked it, but that's just me, like I said. And now people are saying, hey, they're with this whole new updates to the game, the base game, and Phantom Liberty. A lot of people says, hey, good job, you guys redeemed yourselves, you fixed everything, and the game came out really good. You know, everything's fun stuff in the game. And then there's still people out there that's saying the game still sucks and boring and horrible. So you're always going to get that stuff, but hey, you can't complain. 25 million units sold, more than The Witcher 3. So even though they sold 25 million of them, CD Projekt spent roughly $125 million turning Cyberpunk 27 around post-launch. Whew, that's a lot of money. So CD Projekt spent $125 million on Cyberpunk 2077 post-launch, repairing the game's reputation with the edge runners and the Update 2.0 patches alongside the well-received Phantom Liberty expansion. So all that stuff. So with the edge runners, I think they mean that the anime, which is a beautiful anime on Netflix, which I secretly downloaded for myself. I love that anime. It's a great anime. Very dark, but very good. The Update 2.0 patches, which makes the game better. Radio stations work. Everything works better. And Phantom Liberty, which is a great expansion. So, yeah, but that's a lot of money to spend on the game. But still, people say games are going to be costing more, and they're getting bigger and bigger all the time. If it wasn't coming out in a poor state of launch, they would have been probably a little bit happier. But shit. Let's see here. So they said The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt comparably cost around $81 million at the time. though with inflation, it comes closer to $105 million if they're talking about how much The Witcher 3 would have cost to make. So, yeah. So, a lot of cost into making a franchise that they want to be one of their new number one franchises over at CD Projekt. It's costing them money, but they want to keep that reputation good and strong. They want this franchise to be strong. Plus, they're already started early work on Cyberpunk, Cyberpunk 2, the game, 2077 2, whatever they're gonna call it. They don't want this same thing happening to them again. They don't want that same crap happening to them again. So they're going to try hard to keep the next game really good and make sure it comes out of the gate strong. And I'll play it. I played this one. I beat it all. I had fun with it. So they got me as a happy gamer. I spent that extra $30 on the DLC. So hopefully the next one they do and it'll be good out of the gate. I'll be excited for that one too. Whatever they're going to do with that. Now, my question is, are they going to keep it in Night City? And if so, is it going to just be a bigger Night City? Or are they going to keep it the same thing? Will that help the project? I don't know. It's going to be interesting because if you're going to keep it at Night City, are they going to, like I said, people are going to be like, oh, we've been to Night City. It's got to be someplace else. You know, there's got to be they're talking about other places. So, I don't know. But they also, even though this ain't really a game talk here, but it is about the game, CD Projekt announces a live-action Cyberpunk 2077 project. So, announced the unnamed project is a collaboration between CD Projekt and Anonymous Content, the production company behind True Detective and Mr. Robot, as well as Academy Award-winning films including The Revenant and Spotlight. So CD Projekt is working with Anonymous Content Studios head of television Garrett Kammer, director of development Ryan Schwartz, and chief creative officer David Levine. I know them. I heard their names. I don't, they're big shots in the TV world. So they're trying to work with something like a live Cyberpunk probably show. Because like I said, Cyberpunk Edgerunners, that animated spinoff that they did for Netflix, that's beautiful. I love that. Now they're trying to do something live action with it. It could work. I would be interested in it. I don't know what it would entail. I wish they just did more Cyberpunk Edgerunners. I wish there was like a season 2 of that, but apparently we're not going to get I think that it was a one and done thing they said with Cyberpunk Edgerunners. That was a one and done, but shit, I would love to have a sequel to that. Or I should say season 2 of that. Even though most of the main characters die in that one, but you probably would have figured that out already. Spoiler alert. But I'm interested in seeing what a live-action Cyberpunk 2077 project would be. They can do a lot of stuff. Look at Disney. Look at what they did with The Mandalorian and all the Star Wars live projects and stuff. They looked all pretty good. They know how to do the CG. Everything's really good with CG and backgrounds now. Loki and all the Marvel stuff has been doing pretty good in the TV space, so why not do something like this? Oh, and then you got Amazon with their stuff like the Gen V and stuff like that, and The Boys and all that. So you can mix a bunch of stuff like that together. You got yourself Cyberpunk right there. So why not? And some bad news about Cyberpunk or 2077, or should I say this developer CD Projekt Red has been hit with mass layoffs, which is very sad and very bad. And it's been happening all over the game industry with all individual labels, with people over at the I'm trying to think of the name, at the at the Embracer Group. There we go. And other places, a lot of people have been letting go. You know, you have Epic Games laid off a bunch of people. It's happening all over the industry. You know, they hire a lot of people. They got to let a lot of people go after projects are done. It is a very toxic industry that people still want to work in and do game making in and stuff, but it's a toxic industry. We know that. And if you don't know that as a gamer, you got to know that, because they eat, breathe, and bleed to make games for us to play, where we just have our regular jobs. And sure, we complain, and I know I complain a lot about paying a lot of money for certain games and stuff if they're not next-gen true title games. You know, that's the only reason I complain about those. But you might complain about stuff about the games and how they're made, but it takes a lot of people to make these games, and a lot of times people are getting laid off. So apparently a new Polish game developer union has been formed following the 3 rounds of layoffs at The Witcher and Cyberpunk 2077 studio CD Projekt. The Polish Game Dev Workers Union was founded by current CD Projekt staff, gameplay analyst Pio Mazika, and gameplay programmer Lev Key, aiming to represent all of those working in the game development in Poland. They stated that they started talking about unionizing after 2023 wave of layoffs that saw 9% of CD Projekt Red staff, roughly 100 people, were let go. That's a lot of people, but usually you see more from studios. The event created a tremendous amount of stress and insecurity affecting our mental health and leading to the creation of the union. In response, Polish Game Dev Workers Union stated, having a union means having more security, transparency, better protection, and a stronger voice in times of crisis. Which, yes, there was a lot of stuff going on in that studio, I understand, a lot of turmoil. Even the head of Project CD Red, the CEO, I think he stepped down. I guess he went down a couple notches. Like, there's going to be a new CEO in CD Projekt Red, and the current CEO, he's just going to be their like strategy advisor or something now or something. Like, he's still in the company, but he just left his CEO role of the company and stuff. So a lot of things going on, you know, in the wake of everything that was happening during Cyberpunk 2077 and stuff, and the initial release and all that. So yeah, it's not easy in the game industry, and it's something that people don't really want to talk about, but you should, because like I said, without all those people, those hardworking men and women out there, countless hours making these games for us, we wouldn't be able to get what we get game wise and have all the fun we have. So we gotta step back and say thank you to them. And even if the games are bad, we got to understand at least the people that were making the games had a passion and were trying. And it's hard. It's a hard industry. Thank God I don't work in that industry. I would love to make video games, but I understand also that it's not like the gaming industry of yesteryear where it was just one guy programming on an Apple II computer making little games for like the Atari or the Atari or the Commodore or something that they can whip up in a day or something and make a game, and it sells hundreds of thousands of copies, and they make a ton of money just by doing nothing, and they just make these simple little games. Now they're fully 3D, HD. People want 60 frames or 120 frames per second, 4K games and stuff right now. And it takes a little bit more time to make those kind of games with voice acting, realism, stuff like that. It takes a little bit more effort and a little bit more cost and a little bit more stress on their parts. So you got to understand, you know, even though it was probably a lot easier back in the day around the 360 era and stuff when they were making games and they were cranking them out left and right, now it's a bit more challenging because everybody wants the bigger games, the more better looking games, and they want 4K and all that, and that costs more money to do. It's simple economics. It costs more money to make those games. And in a final news story, something that might help the company or might not help the company. I talked about this before, but it is better than not. The Unity CEO or CEO of Unity, John Riccitiello, is stepping down in the wake of the installment fee controversy and all that bullshit that he basically put into effect over at Unity, which basically hurt the company so bad that who knows if they're going to ever recover or if people are going to ever trust them again. But him stepping down and getting out of the company, that's the first good step. Whoever let's see here, James M. Whitehurst. I don't understand, but it's a funny name, and it sounds like a name I've seen in a TV show or a cartoon or something. James M. Whitehurst is going to be appointed interim CEO and president and member of the board, which I don't know who he is, and lead independent director of Unity board, Roloff Botha, has been appointed chairman. I don't know who those people are, but hopefully they can get the company back on track. Maybe after Riccitiello leaves, and then they change back a lot of stuff and they make a stronger contract and system and stuff. Maybe game developers won't get skittish and leave after all, or maybe they will. Who knows? It's a better thing that he steps down, and I said it before. I'm like, in order for Unity, which is the game engine company, to ever get back in track again or whatever, get back from this horrible bullshit that he tried to enact and stuff to try to make the company more profitable. I said they had to change a lot of their stuff back. They had to make this guy step down, fire him, whatever, which he is. And if that still doesn't work, I said the third play they have to make, they have to try to find a buyer for Unity. They got to find that would be the third step. If they can't make Unity succeed after this, that third step would be to try to sell the company to somebody else to get the good graces back in the company, to get that stank out of the company. That would have to be the third step in order to get Unity back with game developers and stuff like that. Because right now they're all like, if we're going to have to pay all this extra money to make games and put our games out there and stuff, and it's going to cost us, even the little developers cost them more, that's not something they're going to want to do. And they'll try to go to Unreal. They'll go to, any of these other engine developers out there. Maybe they'll try to create their own engines. I don't know. Depends on how far they'll go. And then there's open source engines, and then there's other engines that people are doing Patreons for. Everything starts happening whenever something like this happens. A lot of gears start turning, and a lot of people come out of the woodwork and they start doing stuff just to try to get, something else going. And it's weird. It's a thing that should never have happened. Maybe you should have did something else, a different subscription service or something they could have did, and they could have made more profit. They could have said, hey, everybody, we're having a hard time creating profits over here and stuff. We're trying to think of some decent ways. Even they asked all the game developers, what would you be willing to do, or would you be willing to do more or pay more of a subscription service cost or something so we can make more money, so we can make the game engine better and do all this other stuff better. And, there could be different things they could have went through instead of enacting, well, we're going to charge you for each and every download your game gets from anything and every service and any device and stuff. And it just got into so bad of muddy waters. It just was not good at all. It was not good at all. So like I was saying, I got a few points down here in my show notes, and I should have talked about some of the stuff when I was talking about Forza and stuff. Now that the games news is done, I could talk about this one next, but talking about the Forza stuff. So I was talking about how good the games were. So running on my ROG Ally or just running, period, playing the games. I was talking about how Forza Horizon 5, which is the Mexico one, if you don't know, I didn't like as much because it seemed like it was missing a lot of this extra fun that you got out of like the previous one, Forza Horizon 4, which was in Great Britain, which I thought there was more stuff to do, more races, more other stuff. So I liked Forza Horizon 4 more, and I paid for that extra DLC and all that for that one. And then for Forza Horizon 5, it was fun to begin with, but then it seemed like a lot of stuff wasn't in there that I liked as much, and a lot of less fun and interesting stuff. And of course, it ran like dog shit on my ROG Ally. I should actually try Forza Horizon 4 and try downloading that on my ROG Ally and see if that has the same problems as Forza Horizon 5 with running in an open world state on the ROG Ally. I should try that. That's something I might have to try to do, and then I could get back to people and seeing if this is just because it's Forza Horizon, maybe because it's open world or something. I don't know. I might try to do that. Plus, I was talking about, because there's people are talking about passkey and stuff and all the, security options for Windows and computers and phones and everything else, fingerprint readers, stuff like that for stuff. I'm thinking, why not game consoles? Why doesn't Microsoft, Sony, or somebody take that whole fingerprint passkey notion? And if you want people to log into their accounts or log into their Xboxes or PlayStations or something, why don't they have that on like their gaming controllers? Like on the Xbox, I can have like a little, just like on my Asus ROG Ally, I can have like a little fingerprint thing reader right here, because you won't be able to touch it unless if you just go up there and do it, and you could just do it while you're doing it at the start. Oh, I want to log into my Xbox account or something. Bing. Or my PC account. Bing. And you just tap on it and it reads your fingerprint, and there you go. You're securely logged into your account, your Microsoft Xbox account or something, or PC Game Pass account and stuff like that. That'd be cool. And I'm surprised they haven't done that yet with game controllers or anything yet, because they do have that on the ROG Ally. And that was something I was thinking about. Because I was hearing a lot of security stuff about Xbox and gaming and stuff like that around the world and stuff, and how people making all these accounts, instead of making all these accounts for like an EA account, a Ubisoft account, a this account, that account, why don't I just have a passkey account with Microsoft, and you just tap it, and then it just goes in and logs you into all the other accounts, and then they can get whatever information they get from you and stuff while you're logging into their accounts and stuff, and you don't have to do anything else. That'd be an easy thing, right? Make it easier to be a gamer. I just want to play this game. I don't want to start an account or log in or create an account. Here, bing, right there. Simple as that. And then we got questions. I actually have some email questions finally from some people that I'm going to do here. I got like 3 of them right here. And I think the last one might not be as relevant anymore, but we'll see. And I have them down here because, I always tell people, if you want to ask me any questions, got any comments, questions, whatnot, feel free to email me at oldfreakygamer@gmail.com. That's oldfreakygamer@gmail.com. After the show, or if you look in the show notes, it's in there as well. And like I said, now that I'm going to be posting up all these podcasts in video form as well on YouTube, you get to see them in the show notes. You get to see it after the video. I always do the end credits thing with that stuff. So you'll be able to see where to email, or you can go into the YouTube comments section to ask me questions or comments and stuff on the show. So here's some questions now. We'll finish up the show with some questions here about gaming and stuff. So this is from Mel D from Wisconsin. He asks, why do you think there's still no Smash-like game on Xbox yet, given that Xbox has many studios with many different characters from a variety of franchises. He's meaning like a Smash Brothers kind of game. And now that they got Activision-Blizzard, that seems even more like a lot of good sense. And eventually, when all those companies come together, you never know. Maybe a Toys for Bob or something may do it because they did the Skylanders thing. Maybe they'll do something like a Smash Brothers type of game. Because Sony tried to do that with PlayStation, but I don't think they had as many good characters. They had some. I liked playing PlayStation All-Stars, but, Nintendo has all the characters. They have all those properties and stuff. They could get some cool guest stars. Now Microsoft also has even more characters and people, and I think they could do something really cool with that. And I think somebody like Toys from Bob, now that they own Activision-Blizzard, they can maybe do that, and they can get the Overwatch characters. They can make like a universe like everybody else has been doing, and they can make it in a Smash Brothers kind of universe, like they were doing with and I'm not trying to say let's go and do all Fortnite kind of thing, but like that Rumbleverse that was out that I didn't really like, but do it in more so in an open world and make it a fighting world where you can have Master Chief and you can have Crash Bandicoot and all the other characters. You can have even Tony Hawk in there if he wants to be in there, and you can have all their Skylanders. And you can have all these millions of characters, the Overwatch characters, the World of Warcraft characters, the Call of Duty characters, the Gears of War characters, Halo characters. I already said Master Chief, but there's more characters than that. Fable. I'm trying to think of all the other million characters, the Bethesda characters, whatever. Doom. Wolfenstein, Fallout, Starfield, whatever. You can add so many characters now, and you can make an awesome, big, giant Smash Brothers like game. Could Microsoft do it? Do you think Phil Spencer might try to push for something like that, or ask somebody that might be interested in doing it? Maybe. Hopefully. I think that would be cool. Especially if they did it, now, like I said, they own Toys for Bob. They made games like that. They made Skylanders and stuff. Why don't they make something like that, but with every franchise character? Or start off with a bunch of characters and then add more later, like Smash Brothers or something with DLC or something. I don't know. Something interesting like that. That would be good. So thank you, Mr. Mel D. That was a good question. I like that. And I think that question was asked before by people in the past for other podcasts. I think I heard that. But Microsoft's in a I keep saying Microsoft because it is Microsoft, but Xbox is in a very good position right now to do something like that. So maybe they might. Or they won't. I don't know. This one question is from Josh R. Everybody keeps talking about Microsoft or Sony trying to buy other gaming companies, like the notion on buying Nintendo, but nobody talks about Nintendo ever thinking about buying somebody like Xbox or PlayStation. Would that put me to know in a bigger position in the market to have more adult titles and new avenues to take their gaming dominance? So basically Josh R is asking, why does not Nintendo try to buy another company now that they got a lot of cash flow? They could buy like a PlayStation, buy their rival PlayStation. They could do that. They can't buy Microsoft, that's for sure. They could buy a Take-Two or something. They could buy EA. They could buy any of the Japanese companies, probably Sega or something. But we all know that they make their own family-friendly games, and we know that they like to make their own family-friendly consoles, and they try to stay away from all that other stuff, and they let the third parties put the stuff on there. So I don't think they would want to do that. It's not in their style to take over those types of companies. Like, we never really see too much of them ever talking about buying new companies, unless if it fits that Nintendo family lifestyle of theirs. But we never hear them talk about buying too many of those kinds of companies. You know what Nintendo should buy, though? And this would probably help them out, maybe. I don't know. They should buy a chip company. Yeah, they should buy something that they could do like an NVIDIA type or ARM chip company or something, so they can make their processors better for their consoles and stuff, make their graphics better for their consoles, for their hardware, so they can make them right in-house there more and not have to worry about, oh, well, there's this and this and this, and maybe make it easier so that, people can't pirate their games or something. I don't know. Just thinking. Maybe a chip company might do it so they can make better processors for their stuff. But then what else would that chip company do instead of designing and making Switch and Nintendo consoles and stuff and whatnot? I don't know. So that might be a bad idea too. But yeah, Nintendo doesn't really buy too many things. Unless they find some other little company that looks like it's got a good fit for their company lifestyle. They just focus on putting money into their own projects, their own games, their own hardware. And that's what Nintendo likes to stick with. They're not too big on the buying of others like everybody else is. And then we got this last one, which this one is something I already answered basically earlier on in the podcast, and this already happened. So this is from Sam. Doesn't mention where he's from, but Sam, when Activision-Blizzard and Xbox purchase finishes, do you think we will get Diablo 4 or anything on Game Pass ASAP, or will we have to wait? Well, Mr. Sam I am, green eggs and ham. Anybody remember that? That's from Dr. Seuss. That's from old time Mr. Mike yesteryear. I already answered this. I think that they're not going to do anything ASAP. I know, like I said, the evil Bobby Kotick was mentioning that we won't see any Activision Blizzard games until 2024 on Game Pass or anything like that. But he didn't say when. He just says it won't be till probably 2024 before we see that. Which, 2024 is only around the corner. It's not that far away. We're already in October. We're going to be in November, December, then January. There you go. After December, January is already 2024. So, like I said, I think we will start hearing about these games coming to Xbox and Xbox Game Pass, period, with a bunch of games flooding in during the Xbox showcase, during that E3 time or former E3 time. That's when we will see these games come out. And you know what? I don't mind waiting. I don't mind waiting to play Diablo 4 on my PC or Xbox, or hopefully PC. Fingers crossed that they put it also on the PC Game Pass side. Let me speak clearly. I do not mind waiting for that stuff. I just want them to do it right, get it all done right. They got a lot of work to do to get everything together. Big giant companies they bought up giant companies, big giant company, Activision Blizzard / King. A lot of stuff, a lot of products, a lot of little studios, a lot of other people and stuff. They got to sift through all that. They got to sift through all the properties, all the games, all that stuff. They probably already got teams over at Xbox working with teams over at Activision Blizzard King to try to see what games will fit the Xbox Game Pass portfolio and start making them achievement ready and all that other great stuff to make them work on Game Pass and all. So yeah, there's a lot of work that has to be done throughout the whole system before they get it all on there. And them having that, hopefully giving them that time and not saying, hey, Microsoft, where's that Diablo? Where's that Call of Duty? I want it on Game Pass now. Give it to me now. I think we could wait. And then when all the smoke clears and everything settles down after all the games are on Game Pass, then when all the new games come out, then they'll be on Game Pass day one and stuff. And just like how Starfield was on Game Pass day one and stuff, and stuff like that. So give them time. It'll happen. It's not going to be ASAP. I knew that. If the deal would have completed earlier, sure, we probably would have had Diablo and the Call of Duty on Game Pass already. But because, our own government, the FTC, and the stupid UK government were fucking around and trying to fuck Microsoft around and stuff like that because, we're scared that they'll take over the internet streaming gaming world or over at the FTC, there's too much of a monopoly. We shouldn't let them hurt the industry, even though there's plenty of industry. Sure, there's people, they only look at the giant companies. They don't look at all the indie development companies, the little guys that make all these other games. There's always game makers coming out. There's always studios and places forming and stuff like that. So, yeah. And before I get back into the rant of that stuff, I think time, give them time. Give them a little time. I'm willing to give them time. Like I said, got plenty of games out there. I got plenty of games to play. You got plenty of games to play. There's plenty of games coming. Like I said, next week. Or this week, I should say, if we're talking about this. This week or next week? Let me see here. Yeah, this week. As we're talking, the 20th. Like I said, there will be a game called Super Mario Brothers Wonder coming out. I will be playing that game on Friday. I will be doing a stream on that game Friday. Then there's going to be more games coming out. And then there's more games coming out. And then there's the Like a Dragon, The Man Who Erased His Name comes out in November that Going to be playing. Then there's that Avatar game that I'm going to spend $70 on because I'm stupid, even though I should wait because it's a Ubisoft game and that's going to drop dead in price in no time. But you know what? I'm going to give them the $70 because that game looks interesting. And I think I'm going to purchase it because, I like Avatar so much because I'm crazy that I want to play that game. And it looks pretty fun. It looks like something that I want to play. Then you got other games like that RoboCop game, which I'm not a big RoboCop fan. And originally I didn't think I was like hearing a RoboCop game. That sounds stupid. And then I looked at it and I watched people play it. I'm like, it looks so stupid, but it's so funny. And I'm like, I might not buy it right away, but I'll wait till it's like $30 or less. And then I'll buy that game too. And then there's other games. Like I said, the Tomb Raider collection, like I was talking about, that's on sale for $26.99. It hasn't even come out yet. And that's the remastering 1 through 3. That's a lot of games there. And that's scratching the surface of the games that I want to play and talk about. Then you got Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth next year in January. Holy cow. I'm tiring myself out talking about all this game stuff. And we're almost at 3 hours in this podcast. Too much talk, too much podcast for me. My throat is getting really numb and dry. I got to get some drinks in me and stuff. So, yeah. Thank you for all the questions, though. Like I said, if you guys got any comments, questions, whatnot, feel free to email me at oldfreakygamer@gmail.com. That's oldfreakygamer@gmail.com. Or now, like I said, because this video part is going to be on YouTube, my video podcast part of the GamezAttack podcast is on YouTube at youtube.com/oldfreakygamer, of course. So oldfreakygamer at YouTube. And you could go to the podcast. You could go into the comment section. You can ask your questions there as well. Questions, comments, stuff like that. So everybody, I think we're done with this podcast. I think I had enough podcasts. Like I said, next week, definitely going to stream Super Mario Brothers Wonder. I wonder when I'm going to get it that Friday. Like I said, I don't know when it's going to get delivered to me. It could get delivered to me early in the day or it could be late in the day. But I do plan on streaming it that day. If something goes wrong and something happens and I don't get my delivery that day or right away that day, I always have backup games to play. I would hate to say that, but something could happen. But that's what I got scheduled for this the end of this week for Friday. And then going forward, I have a lot of other stuff coming out. I got the Let's Plays, the spectacular Let's Plays coming out one after another. For first, it's going to be the Dead Space remake or remaster Let's Play for the Halloween edition of my Let's Play. And then it's going to be the Callisto Protocol after that. So we got those Let's Plays. And then I got more games. And then I got more games. And then next month, more games. So... And then I'll get some Minecraft in there as well and stuff, because why not? Got to have some Minecraft mining mayhem. So everybody, feel free to subscribe to this podcast, subscribe to the GamezAttack podcast, subscribe to my YouTube channel at youtube.com/OldFreakyGamer. Go to OldFreakyGamer.com and check out all the videos there as well, and my podcast and whatever. And so much stuff I want to do. I just want to get more people on my side. I want to get more of you to join me, talk about video games. I want to hear about your video game stuff, like I said, your comments, questions, whatever, your ideas. I'd like to hear that stuff. I hope you guys enjoy the stuff I do and make. Like I said, I do all this for free right now. It's all free. Podcasts, the videos, everything. I just do it as a hobby. I don't make no money off of any of this stuff. This is just my hobby for the rest of my life. This is my big, awesome hobby. I love doing this stuff. And I'll be doing it till the end of my days. Eventually, I do want to try to do something on the side. Maybe make some merch t-shirts or something like this. My prototype t-shirts. I got a whole bunch of these that I got made for me. They're pretty cool. I love them. Feel nice. It's nice. It's got my artwork on there. I got other artwork I've been doing. I got to start doing my artwork and drawing, and maybe I'll make t-shirts and stuff, and I'll have a store up or something for that stuff. I don't know. If people want it, I'll try to do some cool gaming merch and stuff like that with my artwork and stuff. I always wanted to do that stuff. But anyways, thank you for listening to this podcast. And like I said, congratulations again to Microsoft Xbox and Activision-Blizzard King for now joining together in holy matrimony as Microsoft takes over Activision-Blizzard King now, and it's become a property of Microsoft and Xbox, and at the cost of almost $70 billion, 68 point something $billion. That's a lot of money. If I had a fraction of that money, I'd be happy. This is 68 point something $1 billion. Whew. Can I have $1 billion of that? Can I have $1 million of that? I don't know. Anyways, folks, thanks again. It's time to go. I'm going to end this podcast saying, game on, game hard, world conquest. I'm pushing this gaming button. This show is now game over. See ya.
I love the chase and the hunt, and I set the pace when I'm running. I always take what I want and I always give it 100. Don't need a bank, no I'm funded. Play the game like it's nothing. I'm always thankful for something. Don't take for granted, stay humble. Now wake up! It's time to look at the enemy. Look in the mirror if he is no friend to me. It's not working out, maybe it's the chemistry. It's time to break up so I can make a better me. Better believe in your mind, cause it's everything. You can mold, shape, find almost anything. All it takes is some time and some clarity to find your identity. It's mind over everything. And when I feel like this, I'm immortal. When I feel like this, I'm immortal. When I feel like this, I'm immortal. When I feel like this, I'm immortal.
That's a good game.
Enjoy your gaming.